Welcome to Mountain by Britain for the second event in the Radford Downhill Bike Series.
This week we're in Shropshire at Hopton Wood near Ludlow.
Also known as Mudlow.
Should I show you little clubs?
We've got all the action and points are up for grabs in both the downhill and the all-new dual
In the series.
Beautiful scenery and quaint cottages are usually the trademark of historical Ludlow. But this weekend it's covered in and determination.
and grubby mountain bikers.
Ugh. Tractor loads riders have come from all over the UK to take on Hopton Castle. Coming up in Mountain
We'll be following the progress of the women's downhill competition.
Then we throw you into the gladiator.
We get down with Britain's finest, a take on
Hopton Castle's haunted hillside.
Why don't we go to the top of the course and get a faceful?
The course is 1 mile long and the elite riders will break the tape in just over 3 minutes.
Bursting out of the start gate, competitors head straight into a bus stop bomb hole combination.
Looking to keep it smooth out of the hole, the riders need to put the pedal to the metal and build their speed into the wooded section.
Weaving through the single track, riders take on a narrow trail dotted with tree roots, slippery drop-offs and nasty off-camber corners.
Spat out of the forest at full speed, it's time to hit the brakes and hold on.
That's alright, mate.
Now just pick yourself up, head down towards the fastest section of Hopton Castle's roller coaster.
Oh yeah, grab those safety handles folks, because you're in for a wild ride. Wow, the speed is so high at this section. This course at Hopton really is complete. Get it right, sweet as a nut. Get it wrong, you're a treetop fairy. Climbing down from the pine, the riders built their speed even further.
Yeah, momentum's built to distance, and in Hopton you don't have to be Einstein to figure out what's going through the minds of the riders right about now.
Wow, just before the finish, the riders fly into the arena down this 25-foot drop-in. No real technical difficulty, but at least it's a chance to please the crowd.
The women are all heading out to the battlefield at Hopton Castle, but there's no doubting who's favourite here today. Reigning national champion Trina Mosley's got to be the hot favourite. She got the victory at Cheddar and she's riding really well.
It's hard today to know whether it's going to be a good ride or not because it's so slippy and sketchy that it's either a bit of an all-out, it could be a good run or it could be a big crash.
Second place was Emma Guy. She had a really good run then. She's also looking for a much better season this year than she had last.
I'm going to just go for it, just balls out, full on and try and get away with it.
Third place on the podium down at Cheddar was Karen Van Meerbeek, double national champion in '97. She'll be fighting very hard to get back on top here at Hopton.
I had a bad run at Cheddar. First round I fell off and lost a lot of time.
But there's one more woman we had to consider, that is Helen Mortimer. She was out last time with injury and I'm sure she's going to want to make a big impact.
If you're smooth through the section, you can keep your speed, and I'd like to win. I haven't won a national for 2 years, but top 3 would be really nice.
They've been grinding the fastest lines out of Hopton Castle's vein of terror for the last 3 days, and now it's do or die.
Riders get just one chance to log their fastest time, balancing the need for speed and the risk of disaster. Theon Griffiths, fresh from the junior ranks, makes an early impact.
Yeah, she rams the fence post heading out the bomb hole section and got out of podium contention. Mind the pub!
One woman not taking any risks was Emma Guy, Team Rally.
Here she's in towards the arena. She's going to go round the bumper.
Dull, but if
From Team MB UK. She's a big course specialist and back with a vengeance from a recent injury.
she's quick out of the gate, made neat work of the slippery conditions, and she's safely past Fion's post.
And into the wooded section she goes. It's looking like a clean run so far as she comes down through Dead Man's Gully, Roger.
No problems at all through Dead Man's Gully. Here we are, the fastest time, and look at that clock. Excellent.
Oh no, just as we spoke too early. She's down and she's losing time, but the clock is still right. She's going to be inside the time. Let's see how she gets on as she heads down towards the bottom of the course.
Yeah, she needs to keep hammering now because she has still got a good time on the clock, even with that ball. Nicely over the double, safely over the triple. It's still looking good for Helen Mortimer.
Around the final bend, it's going to be very close.
3:53.37.
She's inside the
This time, but just look at that crash. Dive lost. Helen only knows what could have been.
She crashed at Cheddar and is second seed here today. His Giant UK's big hope to take the honours in the women's competition.
Here we are riding with Karen already, and again cleanly in the top section. Now this is where Helen just made the mistake, and she rails that berm nicely, wide on the exit though, Rod.
Yeah, look at the clock, 3:46, going to be very...
Towards the line, Karen. She's giving it everything she's got. He just squeezes past
Going to second base with a time of 3:57.09.
Tracy Moseley is UK's national downhill champion, and she's riding a $20,000 bike for the first time today. She's really going to have to get to grips with that new bike if she wants to win again.
Well, I'll tell you what, Roy, she doesn't seem to be problem at all with that bike because she's absolutely ripping this course at Hopton. Look at that already. She comes out of the roller coaster. 20. That is incredible. She's touching the limit.
Nearly over the bars there. Remember, she scorched the competition last week with a 7-second lead. Let's hope she doesn't overcook it as she reaches the bottom of the course.
But look at her go as she hits the from Tracy Moseley, totally under control. She's going to score a double whammy and bag a second victory in a row.
Her second
And that impressive time is going to settle at 3:41.66.
Tracy Moseley, a resounding victory.
And a good reason Helen Mortimer sending out a warning that without crashes, she could be the one to challenge Tracy next time.
And also a strong ride into third place from Karen Van Meerbeek.
Just need to work out how to stay on my bike, and then I might be up there.
And a welcome return to form and to the podium for Helen Mortimer.
Reigning supreme and still in the yellow jerseys, Tracy Moseley.
My arm got to the bottom and just sort of gave in on me. Almost went over the bars of it.
Just managed to save it, but apart from that, it's a pretty good.
Hardly ridden, it's only 5 days old.
It cost $20,000.
It's been handcrafted in the US of A.
This downhill machine was built exclusively for the UK's top woman.
Well, this year I actually had the bike actually custom built to my size. It definitely, I feel a lot more confident on it. It just feels like going to corners a lot faster.
Cannondales usually have a single pivot, but this one has two very short links or pivots with sealed bearings. It means the suspension action can work in various ways depending on which terrain the suspension action hits. Headshot motors, they have 6 inches of travel. They've got Coda cranks, Coda compact disc brakes. Ready rock.
Joe Descender, it's new and it's furious. It's a contact sport that's not for the faint-hearted.
As the start gate goes down, it's elbows out.
Every man for himself.
Rules are simple. First man to the finish wins.
Riders are time trial right before the end. 32 contenders making it into the final cut.
That's right, times are collated and then they're paired up and it's knockout action all the way.
Go, go, go! The great thing about Duel is the ability of unknown riders to come through and steal victory.
And here we are in the first quarter final, and Steele in yellow being well beaten at the moment, and Matthew Butterfield.
Yeah, Keely's a hot favourite, he's really struggling. Oh, major taker. I'll have a T-bone.
Oh yes, so Steve Gill is going to cash in his chips, and Matthew Butterfield is victorious through into the semi-final.
Unquite revs him up. Rebel
Just toggles back at the line, and it's Glyn O'Brien who goes through.
We're seeing orange again as Rob Kitchen defends his line against Craig Robertson. He pushed right out of the berm.
That's it, isn't it, Roger? Fantastic manoeuvre there by Craig Robertson. Flies over the berm to take the win.
That's dueling.
So here's the lineup for the semi-final. O'Brien gets to meet Matt Butterfield, and Craig Robertson draws the short draw. Scott Beaumont.
The Scottish showing his spy. He is the favourite. All them leaders. He hits the doubles.
Yeah, he's a superb master of this sport on a world level as well, and no contest from Craig Robertson.
Boom Boom's in the final.
And who's going to meet him in the orange colour strip? It's Glyn O'Brien versus this time Matt.
And he's going to be needing them to beat
Scott Beaumont in the final.
But first, take a look at some riders who've had their wins clipped.
I think it's really important to get a gate, but I've got the outside line for the final. But I'm just going to follow him down. Don't let it get first attack on the last corner. That's really all you can do.
Glyn's a great rider. Crash out, but he got a win, so it's okay time.
So we're ready to rumble in the final. Will Scott Beaumont get his payback? Here we go, into the inside line and into the lead goes Scott Beaumont.
Yeah, we knew that Glyn O'Brien wanted a fast gate, but Beaumont is on complete turbocharge. Look at the speed of this guy.
He's going to need a rocket boost to get back at Scott Beaumont. He has a go, but it's not quite enough. Scott Beaumont takes victory in the first duel event.
Okay, well, let's go to that replay, Roger. Check out what might have been for Glyn O'Brien and his crash out tactic.
You're going to see that again, haven't we? Here we go, Glyn O'Brien's desperate dive, but it just doesn't come good.
Here it is in black and white, and the final results.
Craig Robertson just getting beaten by Matt Butterfield.
Will run off for third and fourth, and Glenn O'Brien just missed his crock of gold at the end of the rainbow in second.
Tried to stay right behind him the whole way down. In the last turn I just went, just attacked, just went straight into him, but it didn't work. I just caught this back wheel, knocked a few spokes out, didn't take him down. Unfortunately. I'll get him the next time.
But pure class today, and a 24-carat performance from Scott Beaumont gives him the win.
It was between, whoever got to start was going to take it. We're both of equal ability, and, it was good. Nick Mace.
Join us after the break for more action in the men's downhill competition and our special feature on Scott Beaumont.
With a guaranteed jackpot of £20 million, this Saturday's birthday draw is too big to miss.
Please make them leave.
Is anyone there? I'm Mark. The Sixth Sense.
First day of our break, decided to grab breakfast by the sea. Stunning roads. Thought I'd show off my driving skill.
Yeah, baby! Come on, baby!
Hit a spot of traffic on the way back. Through it. Back at hotel in no time. Oh, and Jack proposed. Said okay.
Hello, Argos Direct. Hi, I'd like one of those new fibre optic Christmas trees, please. Sure. This is so easy. Also, a remote control car for my son and a dartboard for my husband. Amazing what you can get down the phone. Now, everything from Argos catalogue can be delivered direct to your door. Just call Argos Direct on 0870 600 2020. You dial, we deliver. Anything else?
Yes, when my husband calls, tell him I'd like the foot and back massager on page 136.
I've got people. So I've bought these new Terry's chocolate only segments. Each one's individually wrapped, so they're even easier to share.
Biscuits. Chocolate orange me segment.
They're not Terry's. They're mine.
Mr. President, what is your response to the allegation?
The Thailand thing, I honestly thought they were women.
That is not the allegation.
The hospital funds, the opposition. Bye-bye.
Mr. President, you once had a summer job.
So?
Accepting Carlsberg export.
Brewed slightly stronger for a smoother taste, the Danes hate to see couple leave, just as much as we like to see it arrive.
Mr. President, Plan B.
Yeah, I found out something really interesting. She goes jogging every morning at 8 a.m.
The hamburgers have got to. She's a vegetarian.
Just bought a load of poetry books.
More to say, the new pay-as-you-go from 1 to 1.
Welcome back. Coming up in part two, we've got all the action for part two of the men's all the action from the men's downhill competition, and the course is ripping.
We get to meet Britain's dual descent demon, Scott Beaumont.
Yeah, welcome back.
Won 8 British Championships, 8 national titles. I've won 2 BMX World titles. I'm in this sport to win. About it. My parents bought me a 16-inch BMX bike, and I took stabilisers off when I was 3 years old. 4 years old, there was a BMX race locally to my house. Won this cool little gold trophy. That was just a starting point, A little gold trophy when you're 4, and you just want a load more, So basically went from there, raced BMX for another 16 years. I was only 18 when I switched to mountain bike and BMX, so why not give this a go? Race sports in my family. My dad used to race grass track and speedway, and he was world number 2 at grass track. And he wasn't there when I was born and stuff, so sitting out in Germany somewhere.
He wasn't interested in riding grass track or speedway. It was pretty boring. There's no jumps or anything like that. So
I know Dad always wants me to race motorcycles, you know, because he's always been involved in motorcycles and speedway especially.
Well, Scott's always up there, the man that beat in Britain, isn't he? But he's really quick out of the gate. I think if he can get in front of him, he'll basically get the race won. But it's really
hard task because it's smooth.
A lot of it's in the mind, you know, you've got to think it, and it's not going to be negative, you've got to think positive.
Not real against. So just chill and just, you know, shit and you're not worried about him, you know, that's
probably the best way you can beat him. In BMX you have to sprint for like 40 seconds, in mountain bikes you have to kind of prolong it for about 5 minutes at the World Cup. So basically I'm just doing lots of rides, just trying to get my endurance level up. I'm also doing some jumping as well, you know, just to keep my body fit with jumps. It makes you, you know, makes your heart pound. Basically I'm doing it every day. In BMX there's a huge rivalry between everyone because you're always knocking people off or taking them out on some corner, you know, and there's a fight at the finish or whatever. And don't get me wrong, BMX is a cool sport, but the mountain bikes, everyone's like good friend, and I just love the atmosphere, and everyone's really cool. You know, there's more things in life than work, but I'm doing the perfect job. I'm going to do some 50. See you later.
In the men's event, there are any number of riders capable of pulling out a big performance here today at Hopton Castle.
That's right, all the big names are here this weekend, but my money's going to be on one of the youngest rider elites. Today, my lucky penny is shining brightly for James Alloway. Remember at Cheddar, James had no backing.
Have been riding this roller coaster course for 2 days in preparation for this event.
Yeah, they only get one in the apple, so it's critical to iron out the rough edges.
Crawford Carrigan is Mountain Britain's #1 rookie.
He might be, Rog, but he's also a bit rocky on that top section, losing time right from the gun.
Yeah, really rails that berm in a last-ditch effort. Time is going to be 3:19.96. Is it good enough? Who knows?
Our next rider, one of the quickest on the circuit.
Mr. Robin Kitchen, now he's off the start like an absolute bat out of hell. No mistake so far in this very slippery opening second. He's really gunning.
Down into the woods, he looking swift. A fast run down through Deadman's Gully, making mincemeat, no trouble at all.
Into the fastest roller coaster section on this course.
Flying around that bird, superb. Oh, and a brilliant jump over those doubles. Robin Kitchen's time looking promising. 3:05 at the moment. He's got about 10 seconds in hand. It's excellent.
Run from Rob Kitchen. When he's really firing, he is unbeatable. Here he goes to the line. Perfect run from Rob Kitchen. It's going to be a good time as well. 3:16.79. Into the lead he goes.
Only 4 more riders to come, and first up it's Richard.
Yeah, Rory Richards, one of those promising young riders on the circuit and part of the formidable Giant team.
Here he's leaving the start gate. Now, Richard was relatively unknown until the end of last season when he scored a major victory in the series final, making no mistakes at the moment. He goes past that post and into the woods.
This is where he's going to start to show his true form. He's a total speed merchant through Deadman's Gully into the fast section of the course onto the roller coaster.
Oh, there's so much G-force there. He's almost pulled off the bike, goes wide on the doubles, but he's keep the speed real. Look at this, 3:03 on the clock at the minute.
He's got a...
Excellent, he knows it.
Next up and fired up is
Tim Ponting, Team Animal's finest.
Now remember, at Cheddar in the first round of the series he was 4th. He'll really be looking to put some extra speed in today and try and get on that podium.
Yeah, pedal to the metal straight out of the start and into this tricky little bus stop that's caused so many problems, but no problems for Ponting.
Elbows out, Tim Ponting is a motocross and enduro motorbike rider, and he's using all his upper body strength to pull the bike through.
Yeah, closing down now on the main arena. Let's watch the clock. 2:59 over the doubles.
No major mistakes, and watch the clock on right, because it's all slipping away for Tim Ponting.
Yeah, look at that time. He's way off the pace, which speaks volumes about Rich Warner's run.
But can Tim Ponting salvage anything? Hard around that final bend, he pushes for the line in a time of 3:19.7. Good enough for 3rd, but there's still the wild man Rob Warner to come, and my lucky penny man James Alloway.
Time to see if you're Rory. James Alloway's got himself a new sponsor, and he is really rocking straight out of the bum hole.
Go, James. He's got absolutely everything gained today in his new colours and nothing to lose.
Hold on. He's cruising. He's got a problem. Alloway's got a problem.
Just some big air for the crowd. My lucky penny's safe at least. That's one for the piggy bank.
Just goes to show, no chain, no pain.
More rider to come, and it's Wildman Rob Warner.
All he's got to do is beat his little brother.
He's just so stressed, and I take the mick out of him for training all the time. Like, yeah, he's all, yeah, we'll see you on Sunday, yeah, you won't be laughing then. So, I don't even bother with him.
Okay, Rob, time to put your money where your mouth is.
Well, on paper, that shouldn't be too difficult. The time from Richard Warner is 1.5 seconds clear today so far, and Rob's going to have to go really wild if he's going to beat him.
And he is just that, flying out of the bomb hole into the woods. Here he comes down to the roller coaster, really on the limit.
This is a man with no limits, though. Look at that clock. The time incredible. It's going to be very close. A huge jump into the arena.
Yeah, take the doubles with no problem at all. Onto the triples, the big bang, the last obstacle to do.
Watch the bend. The clock is ticking. It's going to be close.
Oh, slip. That could have cost him.
He's lost. He has. The slip cost it. It's going to be second place for Rob Warner, and Rich Warner created the upset of the day.
I'd like to be a car on that drive home.
The final result board then. Read 'em and weep, Rob Warner, because Richard's at the top.
Excellent ride, and into third place on the podium is Rob Kitchen, who can hardly believe it.
Can't believe it, still really chuffed. It's a dream come true.
Humiliation for Rob Warner.
You know, I've always done good. He's always been the underdog, and like, it's going to be a long drive home.
And it's underdog to top dog in resounding style for Richard Warner.
Usually around the dinner table, he's always giving them out, telling me he's better than me, and I'll never be as good as him. So this week, I don't think I'm going to be able to say anything. I just have to sit there and shut up.
And to rub salt into the wounds, he dons the yellow jersey and takes the series lead.
There's no fishing here without a permit.
Well, that's all for this week, folks.
Yeah, Rory. Hopton Castle lives to fight another battle, which is more than can be said for some of our Rav4 racers.
Next week, we're in Ayr Forest near Dumfries in Bonnie, Scotland,
for the third round of the Rav4 Downhill Mountain Bike Series. Be there!
Van der Sar has conceded, it's Serie A game.
We're here in Scotland for Mountain Bike Britain's third round of the Rav4 Downhill Series.
We're in the land of eloping lovers of Robert Le Bruce and Robbie Burns. We're in Ayr Forest in Dumfries, and the riders are chasing that yellow jersey,
The special yellow jersey.
in both the downhill and dual competitions.
Did you know, Roger, Ayr Forest has one of the shortest place names anywhere in the British Isles, but the racecourse here is the longest, fastest, deepest, most dangerous racecourses in the UK.
I'll tell you something else, Rory. The riders are going to be hoping and praying that the A&E in Ayr Forest doesn't stand for accident and emergency.
Knoxpen, a rocky mountain in the heart of Dumfries and Galloway, just north of the English-Scottish border.
That's right, Rory. It's a great getaway destination, renowned for its ping, climbing, and fully suspended skydiving.
Coming up,
we talk tenders in the downhill series so far and bring you all the best action from both the men's and women's events.
we meet a couple of totally animated characters, the Warner Brothers, and we pay them a home visit to uncover some
And if that doesn't make you see, we've got the most exciting new addition to Mountain Bike Britain. Send a rake.
Okay, enough talking about it. Let's go to the top of the mountain for a rider's eye view. The course is over a mile of twisting single single track. A vertical 207 metres in just over 2.5 minutes.
Straight out of the gate and over the edge, down through some pretty tricky stuff.
Oh, even I am going over the bars today, Rog. Let's look at that again.
Bad landing and punch moss.
Still alive and you made it this far. You're onto the woodland section and the fastest part of the course. It's pretty short this part. You go straight between the trees. All you have to do is hang on tight.
Over the second jump and into the third, it's going to be full speed to no speed at all as they hit these switchbacks. You're really tired by now and your arms are pumped up time. And while you can see the arena,
you out the other side.
Take a deep breath now, because this next stage you are launching into free fall. You'll be grabbing for the ripcord. Trouble is, there ain't no parachute.
oh, base jump is the last major obstacle on this awesome course.
It is a total psych out, or are going to free fall all the way to the finish.
How many reckons they could ride down that big hill?
Yeah.
I reckon you could as well.
In the women's downhill, Tracy Moseley seems to have a stranglehold on the competition. Too clear her credit so far. She's looking
almost unbeatable. Almost unbeatable. Almost unbeatable, Rog.
Just literally a couple of days ago, had a few good runs, and yeah, looking forward to it. It's a really, really good track, and they've been riding well.
But perhaps this is the weekend when it all changes, because this is Emma Guy's homeland. She rides all year round and she's really going to be busting to get the home win.
Some of the drop-offs are really big and they're really putting the bikes through the mill. So I'm not worrying about who I'm racing against, I'm worrying about what I'm racing on this weekend.
We mustn't forget Karen Van Meerbeek. She's had a dodgy start to the season, jinxes with crashes, and she's really going to be hoping that her fortunes change here today.
But we'll all be standing back and looking out for Helen Mortimer. In courses like this, she is super fast.
I hope to do well, and I just want to stay on my bike. I had a bit of a tumble last week, so if I can stay on, I'll do well this week.
Riders just get one chance and one chance only to sort your time over this mile-long minefield that is the Forest of...
The fastest rider wins. It's that simple, but if you don't open your eyes, this extreme course will surely catch you by surprise.
Oh!
one ride catching everybody with their pants down is Helen Gaskell.
Yeah, she's one of the youngest Pro Elite riders. She came in with a storming time of 3:15.97.
Meerbeek storms down the course.
And as she drops down into the arena, she blows away Helen Gaskell with a time of 3:09.95 to take the lead.
Now then, this is Helen Mortimer, the big hill specialist who's riding fully fit this weekend at New Forest.
Yeah, she's absolutely flying on this big Scottish hill, but as she closes down on the line, it's not quite going to be enough to beat Karen Van Meerbeek's time of 3:09.95.
Helen expected a win today. She's going to be bitterly disappointed because only first is good enough.
Scotland's golden girl, Emma Guy, epitomises guts and determination, and on home soil, she is unstoppable.
Today, she seems to be riding 100% head power.
Yeah, Rory, she's eating up the course, and as she breaks down to the critical tabletop, the time is looking good.
Watch the right-hand side of your screen. She's got a couple of turns to go and over the stile as she heads for the arena.
As she flies down to the line, it's going to be real close, and she's done it. 3:05.94 to take the lead.
And she knows it.
We like to save the best till last on Mountain Bike Britain, and there's no exception. Tracy Moseley is leading the series at the moment. Can she make this 3 wins in a row?
Well, maybe so, Rod. She's looking good, and off the yellow jersey is an extra turbo boost for the riders that wear it. She's looking fast as she comes down to the tabletop section. Oh, the clock is zipping round. Over the tabletop she goes.
She's got buckets of time to spare as she keeps it steady on the closing stage. She's sure of victory today. She comes all the way over the bar, she's hanging on.
Incredible!
Yes, she wins it. Great victory for Tracy.
2 minutes, 53.02 seconds.
12 seconds faster than anybody else. There is in black and white, just outside the top 3 today, Helen Mortimer.
Sneaking past and into third place on the podium's Karen Van Meerbeek.
But the flags will be flying high in Scotland for Emma Guy. She goes in second place.
There's only one woman to break the 3-minute barrier today in superb style of Tracy Moseley.
Didn't have a great winter, and to come and take the first 3 nationals up, really pleased and surprised, really.
And here's the series leaders ball. With maximum 75 points, Tracy Moseley leads it.
In second place with 56 points, Emma Guy.
And only 5 points behind Karen Van Meerbeek.
It's got the potential to become the biggest. First, the riders qualify against the clock with only
3,200 competitors going through to the elimination round.
They're to knock each other out in order to lay claim to the Forest of A dual title.
Go! Straight into quarter-final action with Mark Davis and Peter Butterfield.
And the riders are going to slingshot around this first berm as they get together and head for the tabletop.
Already Mark Davis with a big lead. You see Peter Butterfield sitting up. He kind of knows it's all over
This stage.
Whoa! Mark Davis base jumping into the semi-final.
Here we are with more downhill action with Glenn O'Brien in the orange-coloured jersey. Now remember, he was second in the competition.
He must be a contender again in Scotland.
Here we see him watching the opposition to go through to the semi-final. And there's confirmation. Crawford Carrick-Anderson's going to face down Mark Davis.
With Anthony Revel getting through to meet Glenn O'Brien.
Here we go then with the first
semi-final. Mark Davis against Crawford
Carrick-Anderson, and already Davis in the lead.
Into supersonic berm. Crawford's out. And it's all Mark Davis's way as he's going to go to the final with a massive jump into the arena. Davis leaping his way into the final.
It's all nothing for Crawford Carrick-Anderson. On this occasion, it's nothing.
Second semi-final out of the start gate. It looks like Anthony revs him up. Revel has got a blinding start.
Oh, look at this. Glenn O'Brien on the inside line takes the lead back. This is a great race, Rory.
Over sideways as they come over the tabletop and they're tailing each other.
Well, O'Brien's got the advantage. They come into the arena now. O'Brien flying.
Flying Brian going across the line. Go through into the final to meet Mark Davis.
Up for third place.
It's just going to be all out the gate, get a good start, and with that inside line, it shouldn't be a problem.
We're right at the top, only way to go, innit? That's what you got to aim for. On the gate, you just want to be number one.
Here's the final, and straight out of the gate.
Not straight out of the gate for Glenn O'Brien, a terrible start.
Completely fluffed it. O'Brien trailing now as Mark Davis surely's got this one in the bag.
Glenn is best to catch up, but it's going to be very difficult. Mark Davis in such a strong position in this race.
It's never over till you cross the line arena now, and Glenn O'Brien shooting to try and make up, jumps across, but no.
Mark Davis is the A Forest dual champion.
Come on. Confirmation then of our top four as Mark Davis takes the dual title.
Out of the gate, slipped down the bars. Then I was just playing catch up from there on, but I just couldn't quite do it.
BMX orientated hillside, and I'm not from that background. So, but this course, a lot more of a downhill course. You could use the big bikes and that, and it just suited me really well.
Of course, not everybody can get on the podium, so let's check out those wipeouts.
Drags his bike to the line now. Check this time.
Don't go away. Coming up after the break, we meet Rob and Richard Warner. And of course, we've got all the action from the men's downhill event.
Your attention, please. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. Welcome to the new millennium.
For the only other person in the world, a diamond. A diamond is forever. De Beers.
This Christmas, a present they'll want to open again and again.
How wonderful!
Walt Disney's Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, only on video now.
I've got people round. These new Terry's chocolate orange mini segments. Each one's individually wrapped, so they're even easier to
No, it's no good. They're gonna have to have biscuits.
New Terry's chocolate orange mini segments.
They're not Terry's.
They're mine.
Rad's power is in your hands. Rad fires missiles. He even speaks your voice. Rad includes rechargeable batteries and charger.
Proper crusted bread, ready sliced. What a great idea.
Fresh from movies. How much do you know it's never been a fight?
Can I mix?
From the director of Seven, Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, Fight Club.
Mr.
President, what is your response to the allegation?
The Thailand thing, I honestly thought they were women. That is not the hospital funds. The opposition leader. Bye-bye.
Mr. President, you once had a summer job. So? Exporting Carlsberg Export.
Brewed slightly stronger, a smoother taste. The Danes hate to see Carlsberg Export leach, as we like to see it arrive.
Mr. President, Plan B.
Welcome back to Men Bike Britain. Coming up, we've got all the action from the men's downhill event.
First, let's go and meet Rob Rich Warner.
Warner brothers are two of the biggest names in the British downhill scene.
Rob the Wild Man is the premier rider on the UK circuit. He's won World Cup races before, and for the last 2 seasons he's been...
to step out of the shit by the Wild Man. First member, pretty much ran him
Right around on a two-way with a snotty nose.
Probably beating me up.
We used to get hard and he's always snotty nosed.
Getting bullied by him, yeah, years ago.
Definitely always snotty nosed. I think he still is actually. Got a bit of a problem there. I had an Jet 50 when I was about 4 years old. When I was 8, I started competing in motorcycle trials.
Dad was a scramble rider, always been brought out with bikes all around me, so it's kind of natural, really.
You get a bust because what you're doing is so fast and gnarly, you know. It just sort of brings out the animal in you.
Spent a lot of time watching their tapes of World Cups.
Mamsy-pamsy.
You can learn a lot from watching Top Rider.
He rides round the jumps. He can still win riding round the jumps. You don't need to go.
Keep going, this is good. He rides around the jump.
I am terrified of myself, so you won't see me taking
dangerous lines very often.
Robert's has a fair amount of training, but he's not been able to because he's had quite bad injuries.
You know, I was injured and I couldn't train. It was a bad time for me. I was like messed up in here and everything.
He's a bit more set in his training. He does exactly what he's
written down for that day he'll go and do, you know. And I just hope it comes in.
Done a lot. I've trained hard over the winter. I've done a lot of
miles, a lot of skill work on different things.
I change my training every year.
Well, I think I make better every year. Normally I ain't doing about 6 hours cross country a week. Like a big all suspension bike, about 50 pounds, just booming around the countryside.
I feel better in my head if I'm prepared for the season. I believe the races are won and lost during the winter training.
I think he's pretty fit. Makes that for it.
It's not just about technical, there's a lot of pedalling. It's what it is down.
There's going to be rival in there.
Warner does it again, that's me, you, unlucky.
He's always been chasing me. He'll never catch, just chasing. Credit where credit's due, he is Britain's fastest novice. He did win the week like that.
Well, he's already started nodding, so he's up for it. He's done it to the line.
Taking over leader's jersey this year
was cool. It kind of made me believe in myself a bit more because I've been lacking a bit of self-belief. At the end of the day, you won't win the British Championships this year.
What, the national points?
He'll be outridden.
What, the national
winning the British Champs.
I've got a better chance than you.
Yeah.
We're set a special class.
He can't take pressure
and he'll crack.
But the Nationals, they're going to run the flower house.
I do a bit of gardening.
Makes me forget about it.
I kind of like creating borders.
Because when you finish, you can stand back and you can do something and it's cool. Especially if the sun's shining on it.
Well, I think Robert would be on the scrappy. He'd be probably riding in motorbike trials along with the old codger. And I think Chris would be on top of the mountain bike downhill thing. That's what I forecast.
Okay, people, let's get ready for the main event, the men's downhill competition.
Round 3, halfway through the series, this really is a crux event for everybody.
Critical point for anyone who's in with a shout for the series. But there's only one story on people's lips here at A Forest. That's the battle between Rob Warner and his younger brother.
I think he wants to get revenge. He's been shooting his mouth off, telling him he was going to take 15 seconds out of me last night, so we'll see.
But I'm going to put some money on Matt Farmer back after that terrible crash last week. He has to risk life and limb here this weekend if he's going to be in with a shout for the series.
We had a big crash last week at Hopton. Hit a tree pretty well head on, flat out, and I don't remember anything about it, so I've lost one round, so I want to win this one.
Well, I think he's going to need all the help he can get myself, because I'm going to put a bit of money on Will Longdon going up to 11th position from a 0 start at the beginning of the season, and he's firing on all cylinders.
I raced last weekend and it wasn't too hard. Top 10 of this again, just to show myself that I can do it even with an injury.
Right, folks, so wait.
Riders have been giving the Forest of A a thorough workout during their practice round.
These downhill devils have been carving out their times from its stony path all afternoon.
Will Longdon riding front and into the fire. It's all he can do just on board.
Oh, look how close he gets to that barrier. 2:39.58. He's going to set the...
He knows that's going to be deep far.
Farmer's tyre literally exploded at the start line and blew out our race prediction.
With it, any chance of getting on the podium?
It's a nasty drop there, just caught my front. Like punchy noise.
Glenn O'Brien, the original Flying Irishman. Remember, he was second in the duel, so he's going to be looking out for a top in the downhill. And off the start, he's absolutely throttle wide open.
Yeah, not even a two-stroke can inside as he comes down into the woodlands. This is the critical section, the trip jump, looking nice and smooth over these jumps. Sets it up for the right switchback. This is one of the most difficult sections of the course. And look at that, he's got so much, and he's even passed another rider.
It's amazing. Look at the time on the right of your screen. That's the one to beat. Will Longdon's about to get roasted.
Yeah, absolutely burnt to a crisp.
Tim Ponting, his team man, top dog, but the heat is really on now. Glenn O'Brien, his teammate, is snapping at his heels.
Tim needs to be fast this start and make no mistakes.
Absolutely no margin for error for Tim today because they're coming at him from all angles. And I'm going to be interested to see his time, Rory, because I think we're seeing a measured ride from Tim Ponting today. I think he's going for the series leader's yellow jersey. And I think you can see it in his riding.
Yeah, look at the time to beat on the right of your screen. He's over the tabletop. He's cruising, isn't he, Rog? He's not really motoring on this section. Just the big jump to the arena to come.
Oh, yeah. Respect as he crosses the line. 2:37.77. But with 3 riders left to go, his fate is in their hands.
James Alloway was the wonder boy of Cheddar with a podium third, but his luck ran out last week, so today is an all...
It's all beautifully hopped around that turn, comes up to tabletop, but
Running a little wide there, might lose a bit of time.
Watch the clock though, Rog, on the right of your screen, because it's going to be close. Alloway is on for one
right
today.
to
He
the
keeps
line,
it low
Rory.
on the just. Oh, he's just outside.
Remember last week, the big story was that he got beat by his brother, and he's still angry about it.
He is so fired up for this race, you wouldn't believe it. It's a win, and that is all that's good enough.
But from the start, look at Warner. He is absolutely flying.
Yeah.
This guy's the big course specialist in Europe and around the world. He knows how to rise to the challenge. Warner is on a mission.
Beautifully over those 2 jumps, sets it up.
Oh, he's lifting the front wheel, looking superb with the jump. At the clock, Ross. 2:27. This could be possible. He's coming up to the arena now.
Just the free fall to go. There he goes, down to the line.
Over the line. Oh, yes, he's just 35.11.
Oh, he's shaking his head. Is half a second enough?
There's only one rider who can beat him.
Come down from the parcel shelf for the nodding dog. Richard Warner, your tyre.
Yeah, it's going to have to fast run if he's going to win it today. He's off like a bullet. The yellow jersey looking good on his shoulders, but can he keep it? Rich Warner on a mission.
Oh, look at him, he's absolutely on limit. Dabbing here, dabbing there.
Bit of a foot out, he's right on the rails as he comes in next wooded section. It's going to get here.
Super fast, taking it nice.
Oh, he's down. This is a disaster for Rich Warner. He cannot afford to do this. He's off the bike completely.
There's no time to come off at any point. Look, he's just sitting up in the saddle.
Oh,
He knows
there's
it's
the
all
time, Rog. 2:33 on the clock. It's outside. He's not going to beat his brother today. He's cruising into the arena. There's going to be
A lot of unhappy face down there.
Oh dear, he is just, look, he's not even taking the big jump for the crowd either. A bad day in the office for Richard Warner.
Yeah, he's out of it completely.
2:45.91. Oh, and the look
says it all,
Look
doesn't
at that
it?
face.
And what about our winner?
Yeah, one happy man indeed. Let's see that again.
Yeah, he goes into this corner, Rog, just not committed at all, and it's over the bars, and it's all over for Rich Warner.
I couldn't take it.
Formation from the leaderboard there.
The big guns shining bright on this superb course.
And James Alloway making a welcome return to third.
Excellent riding from James, but it's second toppings for the Silver Dream Machine, Glenn O'Brien.
That was me and him for the years to get on the podium. I've done it quite early, you know, so I'm going to set my aims a bit higher now for the end of the season.
And our winner, Rob Warner, back on top.
I'm happy to win. A win's a win. Like, no one can take that away from me. You know, people were quick
and I crashed, and well, I don't know how many times it's happened to me. More times you can poke a stick at, so that's a bad luck.
Now let's take a look at the series lead.
Say I'm going to get on podium eventually, but I haven't done it yet. But no, fourth's good, it's consistent, and I'm in the series now, so I can't.
Fantastic time out here, but we're not through the mountains yet. With the next week, we get to mid-Wales and surround the area of Bilth Wells.
For the front of the RAD4 mountain bike series. Ben! Be there!
Welcome to Mountain Bike Britain for the RAD4 mountain bike series. Hit by the plague in the 1950s, nearly destroyed by fire in the 1600s, and now Bilth Wells in the heart of the Welsh Mountains is gearing itself up for an infestation of mad mountain bikes.
That's right, Roger. This is the 4th race in the race series, except that's 7.
This is the 4th race in the 6th race series. Indication yet of who's going to be up for it in next week's National Championships.
Because coming up, we've got the women's downhill competition.
We've got all the thrills and spills for the sender.
And we introduce you to this year's top rookie, Carrick Anderson.
And it's back for more downhill race action with the best men in the UK.
She's a wild one, so whilst the riders make the final adjustments to their bikes, let's go to the top of the course with Headcam and share the scare. Bilth Wells is full of nasty switchbacks, slippery routes and killer single track.
As the riders break out of the start, they're immediately onto trying to maximise their straight and speed and make the most of this super fast start shoot.
As they fly into the wooded section, the Welsh Rabbits will be ducking for cover.
Now this is Heaven's Gate, a really narrow section of the course where the riders have to go between the trees, only just as wide as their handlebars.
Well, if you manage to get to Heaven's Gate and into the Garden of Eden,
It's not long before your halo's slipping and just shoot through the hole.
Into the thick of the woods, where
tricky route and slippy off the corners.
Life gets harder, the switchbacks get tighter, and the entries to those switchbacks get
faster and more technical.
Well, this is aptly named Sidewinder, and you've got to go like a missile if you want to stay alive. That's right, Roger. So if you touch the brakes too heavily, the world is going to fall away beneath you.
Out of the Sidewinder, and riders are thrown into a mean switchback, and as they try to maximise through the turn, they hurtle towards the next stage where Bilth presents the riders with 2 deceptive lines.
There's only one serious line this corner, it's the high line. If you're tempted to take the shortcut and get it wrong, you're going to be munching moss.
out of the big turns, riders have to commit to some serious pedalling as the clock spins closer to their target time on their one and only run. You made it down and you're still alive. Count yourself in as one of the downhill demons.
There's one woman who's been blazing a trail of destruction all season.
Tracy Mowley's really blitzfilled in the women's competition this year, Rory. She's way out in front on the leaderboard, but I know she's getting an injury from a really horrific crash recently.
I'm still kind of got a bit of a shoulder injury and back not being great this weekend, so not the greatest run up to the event.
Now Tracy's 20 points in front of her nearest rival, Emma Guy, and with Caravan Meerbeck just 4 points behind her, the battle really is about second place.
I'm going to just take it quite steady. I'm not going to go crazy, and just try and keep smooth and let everybody else make the mistakes.
Let's forget Helen Mortimer, back from early season injuries.
I think it might be a bit potluck today, whether staying or not.
The weather's really good like big rolls today's face for the rest in their line over
the last 2 days on a dry track.
That's right, the riders who tune in the quickest of the conditions will definitely have the upper hand here today.
First up is Helen.
She's out for a big one today. She had a disappointing run at Dumfries and the pressure, Hopton.
Helen using all her skill and determination here to hang on to the bike. It's a very physical course, and she crosses the line with an opening bid of 3:28.42.
Helen, ever the perfectionist, doesn't look happy with it, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, next up is Karen van Meerbeek, who's overdue for a big performance this season. She always expects to win.
She really is concentrating, desperate to get this one right here today and take the victory.
I think it was said in those interviews early on, the person that makes mistakes is going to be the loser today. At the moment, it's a perfect run, Karen, even if it isn't spectacularly fast.
Absolutely right. She's keeping it really steady down this course, and she's coming to the line. Look at the time.
Yeah,
whoa, 3:16.94. She rockets into the lead and into the bonus.
She's assured of her podium place with only 2 riders to come.
And Emma Guy, Scotland's golden girl, is used to the kind of weather we're having here as she heralds
and into the bomb hole.
Yeah, looking very quick through this top section. Let's see if she can get it right all the way down. She's scooting around that section. That's the side one.
Yeah, looking through there, keeping her speed up all the way around, just dabbing it to keep the momentum going along with these gloopy conditions.
That's right, Rod. You've got to bring it all together on race day and hit or miss on these slippery sections.
Now watch the clock. It's powering to the line. It's going to be deadly close. No, just outside the winning time. 3:18.45 is going to be good enough for second place.
There's only one rider who can beat Karen van Meerbeek now, and that's Tracy Mosley. She's well ahead, winning every race so far this series, and surely is hot favourite to win here today.
Yeah, Roy, she's been so dominant, we automatically expect her to win. Here she comes now through Heaven's Gate, bouncing it round through and setting it up for the ball.
Getting a little bit of a loose footing there and struggling to get back on the pedals. Tracy's now got to open up the gas and go for goal.
Yeah, she's getting her legs up.
Slipping right off the course there, I wonder.
What's going on here? We know she's got an injury. There's something strange going on here, very strange indeed. Look at the time though, it's going to be way outside.
No contention at all with the yellow jersey today. And congratulations to Karen van Meerbeek, who gets the first win of the season.
So we see it for ourselves on the leaderboard. Lucky in third place, Helen Mortimer.
Emma Guy consistent in that second place again.
But the victor, Van Meerbeek.
Nationals is the main one. Everyone wants to win the Nationals. And it seems our first time in 4 years. I really want to win that.
The sun still shines for Tracy Mosley, whose early form in the series keeps her in the yellow jersey.
It's a shame, if it had been a good result, it could have been quite easily ahead and the final round wouldn't have been too pressured, but another one down to the final round is going to make that interesting, but I guess it makes it more exciting.
We wander through these buttercup meadows of the beautiful Welsh mountainside. The last thing we expect to find is this huge mother of a mound. Talk about Mortal Kombat on bikes. This year's dual centre competition, speed of downhill competition with the tech handling element of BMX.
And there's no hiding on this wide open course of turns burn and this huge drop-off.
Yeah.
Step up to the start gate, Emma Guy and Helen Mortimer, who make up our women's final today. Both these riders will be hungry for a win here today. Remember, neither of them in the winning slot in the downhill as they head onto the burn-busting course.
And at the moment, it's Helen Mortimer who has got the pace. Oh, Emma Guy trying to make a charge on the inside there, over the 6 and down into the big drop into the arena. It's still Helen Mortimer.
It's a long way down. They've got one slippery corner to come, just missing the Bowser. Helen Mortimer's going to take the win.
And Emma clutching at straws.
I knew it would be quite close between Emma because she's obviously riding so well, and she touched my back wheel. I was coming into one of the corners and I was like, oh, but I sort of stayed strong on my bike and luckily it paid off.
Into quarter-final action in the men's competition. On the left of your screen, Craig Robertson, but Will Longdon.
Yeah, on the right, Craig's going to have a handful with Will. He's a man with World Cup experience in duelling, and he is really ruling this roost at the moment.
Yeah, Will knows how to keep the door shut, just looks over his shoulder, and Robertson's into the bales.
Next up then, Tim Ponting up against David Armstrong, who's on the left, and Tim Ponting goes...
Oh, but Armstrong ditching it, nosediving, high-siding over the bike. He's out on the first.
Plain sailing for Tim Ponting. All he's got to do is keep it steady to the end.
And here we are, Steve Gill on the right of your screen, and Lewis the King on the left. Oh, Lewis really muscling in on that first corner, Roger. This is a close one.
Yeah, uses his motocross experience to shut the doors. Big air from Lewis King.
He's making it look so easy. Fourth quarter final, and Andy Bostock on the left of your screen up against Anthony Revel, who gets a clean whole shot off the start gate.
Yeah, Bostock got a terrible start, but he's closing down on the left. Oh, gets a nice line on the left, and he's going for it. He's making a move. This is a brilliant race.
Okay.
Andy Bostock into the lead.
Bostock overtaking, and the dangerous manoeuvre done just before the finish as he come around the final bend. Revs trying for a slam manoeuvre into the Bostock. Salving the win there. He earned it, Roger.
He certainly did, Rory, but going to have his hands full in his semi-final because he's going to meet Lewis, Eyes of a Gunslinger King.
But first, centerfold
meeting the animal,
Tim Ponting. On the right of your screen there, Tim Ponting getting a fast start as the gate flies down.
Yeah, Will on Just stuck like glue to the gate. Terrible start from him, and he's slipping up on the berm, going horribly wrong for Will Longdon.
Trailing as they go into the six-pack now. Will Longdon's got to go for it if he's going to catch anything on Tim Ponting as they come to the big jump.
No.
Ponting's got it all his own way.
Yeah, it's all over. Will Longdon stars it big time for the crowd on that jump, and Tim Ponting sails it.
Easy. Next up, Andy Bostock's going to be reaching for extra ammunition.
If he wants to blow away the gunslinger, Lewis King.
Okay, out of the start gate, it's King on the right that gets the fast start.
Yeah, Andy Bostock, just narrowly missing the side of that berm, making a bit of a mistake on that first corner.
Okay, Bostock going far down the left there, the rock's flying, but King is out in the lead now as we come towards the big drop.
Yeah, it's the final drop for Lewis King, but Andy Bostock chasing him hard.
Remembering that race with Anthony Rebel,
he's making a play now.
He's railing the barriers, but King goes through to the final.
And it's going to be 20 paces.
Honestly, right at the moment, but he got danger. He's saying right behind him.
What's going to happen as there's a big jump? The gap is increasing.
At the moment, it looks like it's Ponting all the way to the line. Lewis King is nowhere, but
he's overcooked it. Ponting blows over the King. They both blow it, and Ponting, by the skin of his teeth, gets away with that one.
Yeah, what a great race. That's what Dual Descender is all about.
He had inside lane, and I tried to tuck him behind him, but he knew I was trying to take him out. He just went. He was gone. And he crashed in the last corner, and I went down as well. But it's just all good fun, real good day.
I didn't think about moving from the Cozy Cat because we've got lots more action coming up after the break.
Yeah, we've got all the men's doing, and we've got Crawford Carrick Anderson.
Don't you dare miss it.
The new Peugeot 406.
Bud.
Why? Hey, Frank.
Hmm?
Well, I was thinking maybe I'd assassinate them.
What?
Congratulate them.
That's not what you said.
Congratulate.
You said assassinate.
Gotta clean out your ears.
The eve of the millennium will be a night like no other. There'll be more revolutions, more invitations, more new beginnings,
More revolutions.
and more millionaires. The Nash Lottery Big Draw 2000 will create more guaranteed millionaires on one night than ever before. It's time to take part.
Everything was cool.
This Christmas at Virgin Megastores, the brand new 4-player fighting game, Wu-Tang Taste of Pain, is
Wu-Tang Taste Pain's out of Virgin Megastores price $9.99 and it's dangerously entertaining.
I want to die champion in this country.
You're back with Mountain Bike Britain in Booth Wells.
We've got a feast downhill action as things heat up in the men's competition.
But first, we're going to meet a man who comes from a talented sporting family and he's laying himself on top of the points table.
Yeah, Rog, remember this name, Crawford Carrick Anderson.
He's very fast. Very fast. He's going right to the top.
It's not like other riders who come down and they're like, oh, every time Crawford comes down, it's just like, oh my God.
Experience. Trials, bit of motocross.
In slalom skiing, you hop between the poles. Crawford does that on his bike.
Crawford was always the one going out and doing everything and trying different things, and he was always good at everything. As far as skiing was concerned, he was with the British team for 2 or 3 years, and for the trials riding, he was certainly Scottish too.
Well, I've known Crawford for quite a long time. I've known him from the trials riding that he used to do a couple of years back.
He slowly decided he was going to go downhill racing.
We all knew he was fast.
When he first started, every single race he was falling off.
He just kept crashing him.
He just kept falling off left, right and centre. But those who knew him knew that, yeah, he could do it.
One thing he always says is that when he's coming down the hill, he's so aware of everything with his eyes that if someone waves in front of him, then he just gets totally fucked and he'll crash.
If you do crash, you've got to learn from everything. And Crawford learns very quickly.
At the start of 1998, we got the clan team going, and because it's a Scottish team, it was a kind of natural that Crawford would, join us. First year he did with us was really good.
First race, I think it was Cheddar last year. Nobody knew who he was, and then he just came down and thrashed the senior field.
And the senior national points.
Last year, it's just... He's been there, he's not, he never gets big head or anything.
No, he's a right cat. He sometimes uses his disability to his advantage.
He's good at making faces behind the camera, like. The technical skills that he has are really quite incredible. The harder the course, the faster he goes.
He's so dedicated. He's so focused.
I give him all credit, he does train really hard.
He's got a lot of opportunities. I mean, he's with me this particular year. Maybe he'll stay with Giant next year, who knows?
Next season he'll be right at the top of the World Cup, I think. Dedication, and he's got the ability.
Don't tell him that.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Like.
Where are we? The men's series at this point is sizzling, just like a juicy steak.
Boo. It certainly is. An element scorching the trail is Tim Ponting, but hot on his wheels are Crawford Carrick Anderson and Nigel Page.
It's really greasy up there, and I think if you can get everything clean, feet up, then you should stand a chance on podium.
What about today? Surely the man must be Rob Warner. He rode so strongly to win at the last round in Dumfries on one of the seasons so far.
Well, it's going to be difficult. I mean, I think we find a lot of people have pushed too hard and fall off. Because once you start to slide up there, it just keeps going on a lot of corners. It's real tricky because it's so hard packed and that polished was a slippery.
He could certainly be up for a win today.
Steve Jones, the wide-eyed Welshman, is new blood in the Pro Elite competition this year, sending out a big warning light to the other top riders.
Open the throttle on the...
But they're going to be no songs on Morgan today because he's desperate to get his season back on course after injury, Rory.
Oh, doing some superb neat work through that corner, Rog.
Yeah, some superb mud plugging puts him into second place.
And we'll arrive with James Alloway. Remember, 2/3 on podium, and he's got absolutely everything to go for. He can.
Yeah, well, he's flying out of the start gate. That beautiful section down to Heaven's Gate. I'm sure he's going to be praying that he gets this one right.
Jumping James Alloway looks like he's on a mission. trying to add to that good result he had down in Cheddar. He's through the bomb hole and now he drops into
Towards Sidewinder, Rog.
Yeah, looking good as he comes through there. All turning on the speedway style through Sidewinder. Now it's dropping down the steep, tacky sections.
And made even tackier.
Look, he's putting the hammer down as he comes to the line. Yeah, 250.46.
James Alloway goes into the lead and takes the hot seat.
Well, I didn't think that was the case. He looks slow, but I take it all back. Alloway in the lead, you say, Roger. And now the master Crawford Carrick Anderson proving so popular this season, not just with other riders, but with the timing clocks. He is absolutely flying off the start.
He's the speed of light, this man. Watch as he absolutely destroys that start ramp. Let's watch him through Heaven's Gate. Looking as though he's totally on the edge.
Can't you just extra speed? He's turning on. He's all
Incredible.
over the place. Oh, again, he's almost off the course.
He is so hard through that section. Slams the bike around, almost looking twice as fast as Alloway through there. Incredible stuff from Crawford Carrick Anderson.
This has got to be something special. He's keeping it upright. If he can stay from dumping the bike, Crawford is on a really good ride here, Roger.
I have to say, Rory, Crawford looks as though twice as fast as everybody else. And look at that! What a story that
was written in the motions, wasn't it? 2:42.73 blows away the competition and into the lead he goes.
Tim Ponting finally got his hands on that coveted yellow jersey last weekend in Scotland, and now he's really looking to lay down the law and increase his lead in the series.
Okay, Tim Ponting through Heaven's Gate safely and around this bend as he heads towards the bomb hole. A smooth ride so far, and I don't think we'll see the exaggerated body language. Oh, maybe I speak too soon as he goes round Sidewinder.
Yeah, slams the bike at Sidewinder. Awesome stuff from Tim Ponting. He's really looking as though he's firing on all cylinders here today. Doesn't look like a cautious ride of a man who's trying to protect that yellow jersey, Rory.
Excellent stuff indeed. Let's wait for the clock to come up from the board. He's not far away from the arena. Oh, slipping a little bit.
Oh,
and there's confirmation. He's well outside first time, but what's it going to be?
Yes, into second place. 2:50.15 for Tim Ponting.
Okay, now the one man Rob Warner, 1 second and 1 first place on the podium. He is the serious challenge, Tim Ponting, and he also scored a national championship medal here last year. So Rob Warner has everything to go for today. He's going to really go
look
for
at
it.
that! Look at that new line from Rob Warner. Awesome riding as he goes through Heaven's Gate. He goes around Heaven's Gate, cuts a new line. Superb stuff.
This is our last ride on the course, Roger, and we're watching something special for Rob Warner today.
Absolutely brilliant through Sidewinder as well. This man is on a mission, and he is so slick through here.
Fantastic riding. This is why he is the fear rider, and everybody waiting at the bottom of the hill to see what he can do. Oh! As we speak, he slipped out. Now that's going to cost him. He's gone slow. He can't get back on. Look at this.
It's all going horribly wrong for Rod. No!
That's it, Rog. He's out of it. He's out of it. He's getting angry now. That is not good. He knows he's well out of the race. One slip, you see, is all it takes. And Rob Warner's out. And Crawford Carrick Anderson is going to be today's champion.
And leaderboard confirms it. Crawford Carrick Anderson going into orbit with a win by 8 seconds.
Making a habit out of third place. They're going to start calling this man James Three-Way Alloway.
And first time on the podium this year for Tim Ponting.
For 2 years now, I've been in fourth place at last. I always say, every national I'm going to get on the podium, and I never do, so yeah, nice feeling.
The popular Scotsman steals the Golden League from Wales, making history here today.
He's over the moon. Where now?
So Tim Ponting is the rider in front, retaining that yellow jersey and the series lead with 163 points.
Yeah, but only 2 points clear of Crawford Carrick Anderson, who boosts himself into second place.
Didn't you leave out Crawford Carrick Anderson? Wasn't that just awesome, Rory?
An amazing rider, now surely a force to be reckoned with. And what about Karen van Meerbeek?
Superb riding here today, finally getting that win for all season.
And who knows, she might even regain her national title next week at Eastridge.
Where Steve Peat, Britain's #1 international rider, cap mission back to the UK to try and snatch the national title from the evil Rob Warner.
Mr. Borden, yes, inevitability.
And Tracy Mosley tries to make it back from her Bilf Wells disaster, her national crown. Be there!
Welcome to the British National Mountain Bike Championships, the biggest event in the RAV4 downhill series.
The best riders have come from all over Britain to compete for national titles.
The RAV4 series is in a case of suspended animation today as the riders focus solely on getting that gold medal.
This, people, is an extraordinary event
where riders push themselves and the local AE to the limit.
Coming up on the show this week,
Rob Warner, reigning national champion, tries to make it 3 years in a row by defending his national count in the men's downhill competition.
We go head to head, we drop into dual descender.
We let fly with Britain's top female downhillers.
And we meet Steve Peat, the man who's headed back from the States in order to steal the national crown.
OK, couch potatoes, reach for the sicky bag as we go to the top of the course and prepare to share the fear with rider Headcam.
Eastridge is short and fast, with the top riders aiming to complete the course in 2 minutes flat to be in the medal count.
Yeah, this is the shortest course on the British National Circuit, so there's no time for mistakes.
Riders are thrown around on their bikes as they accelerate into the narrow single track littered with tree roots through the pines.
Before you know it, the first stage is way out of sight and you're facing some nasty turn put in to throw the riders off their lines.
Trying to carry their speed and stay on, the riders wind their way down into a messy little pit.
Welcome to our little rock garden.
Riders drop in over a very steep section of sharp rocks. The riders drop in over a minefield of angulars before a very sharp left-hand turn.
The riders put down power through the woods, reaching top speed as they weave their way through the handlebar grain branch
whilst dicing with death.
It's basically a beeline to the next stage of this short course. It's fast, and as you might have guessed, a straight line through the woods in downhill is far from easy.
On this trail, their lines have worked for every little ounce of speed.
With the deal of the woods finally over, it's time to open the throttle up and head for home.
The finish line's just ahead in sight, but there's big danger around the corner.
There's nowhere to hide on this section of the course as they fled towards the finish, but there's still one big obstacle between a fast time and no time at all.
hey, the takes rider over the edge. It's the last nerve buster before the finish line.
Checking their trousers, the riders can make the most of the limelight and keep it cool into the finish. The women's event is shaping up to be a real stunner.
That's right, Rory. Tracy Mosley, the defending national champion, has been a hot favourite at every event this year. She's been awesome.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling back on early season form, so it should be good.
Now, Karen Van Meerbeek, she's no stranger to holding the National Championships title, but last year Tracy stole it from her, and this year she wants it back.
Although it's only up for us, it's very important, even more so than the National Series.
But don't forget the international racing talents of Helen Mortimer. She's a local girl to these woods, and she knows the trails like the backhand. This could be her national title.
If I get...
But she's not firing on cylinders today.
She really doesn't like she's going for the cliff, Roger. Remember, this is a national championship title Emma's going for.
Yeah, she's kind of cruising on the approach, just drops it down nicely. Now's the big pedaling section, pushing all the way to the line. There's the clock.
And a big hand from the crowd.
Will never won a national title, but it's been Britain's most promising rider for as long as we can remember.
Well, we're going to find out soon, folks, because here she is in the rock garden. This is a brutal section. She's riding it brilliantly, Rod.
She looked great through that section.
Oh, bit of a slip, bit of a mistake there. I think she ran into those nasty roots in the woods. This is the tightest and the fastest section of the course now.
It is so tight. Will that cost her time? But I think not. Look at the clock. She's awesome as she comes down towards the cliff. She's really hammering it down.
Brilliant. Remember, the time on the right of your screen is Emma Guys. That's the one to beat, and she's hanging in there. She's going for it.
She's got bucket loads of time. Team 12. No trouble at all. Straight into the lead for Helen Mortimer.
She's never going to win.
Our next rider is Karen Van Meerbeek. Now, she is hungry for the big one today.
That's right. She's been a multiple national champion in the past. She knows what it feels like to wear that crown.
OK, Karen's into that tree rooty section where Helen made a mistake and she's going for it towards the open area of the arena.
I'll say she doesn't look quite as fast as Helen, but that can be deceptive. Look at the clock. That is not deceptive at all.
She's only a couple of seconds in hand and she's miles away from the finish. She's not going to win today. This is going to be upsetting for Karen.
Yeah, it's only going to be good enough for second at this stage.
OK, we've only got one more rider to come, and that's Tracy Mosley. Remember, she's our defending national champion and definitely the favourite to win here today.
That's right, all eyes are on this girl. Can she make it 2 in a row? She's powering out of the blocks, but it's all going to count further down in the rock garden and the other section.
Riding high around the edge and dropping into the rock garden. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Going right high on those rocks.
Yeah, she really is a hawk. If there's a line out there, she can find it. Here she is coming down through the tide, looking really, really nice as she breaks out into the open.
The cliff approaches. Oh, and the brakes. She's overcautious on that section.
Yeah, and she can't afford to be because look at the clock's already at 2:17. She's out of contention completely.
She didn't think it was possible, but she's done it. Helen Mortimer is the new downhill champion.
Why was Helen so unsure that she was going to get victory today? Well, let's take a look at that replay. There she hits a big stump and nearly comes off the bike.
But you cannot argue board, and there it is in black and white. Helen Mortimer winning today from Tracy Mosley second, but in third place it was Karen van Meerbeek.
Karen looks pleased to receive the bronze, but in silver medal position and not so Tracy Mosley.
It was just really shabby. At the bottom before I already knew it, before I had any time to kind of make anywhere else.
A championship title doesn't come any sweeter than this. A superb home win for Helen Mortimer.
I'm ecstatic. It's been a long time since a podium in England, and to do it at the National Championship, just unbelievable. It's really good.
The dual event features the Gladiator.
That's right, and there's been a different winner in every round of the series so far. In fact, some of the biggest names have even been crashing out before the finishing gate, Rog.
No, is that we luck on this side. A rider can come from nowhere, snatch victory.
We've got two of the biggest names in the women's final. EFSO, our national downhill champion, newly crowned Helen Mortimer.
Straight out of the gates, they're into a tricky little mogul field, and it's Helen Mortimer that takes this race.
That's the way to do it, straight into the... Oh! Just as we speak, that's not the way to do it. Helen Mortimer obviously focused on other things and not that first set of doubles, Roger.
Yeah, very easy now for Emma, rolling over those jumps.
Not so much for our big crowd to cheer about here tonight. She's going to be safely home, over her shoulder to make sure of victory.
Yeah, it's going to be a scoop for the Scot to take the win here tonight.
Let's take a look at that all-action replay then. Here it is, Helen Mortimer, no contact, just over the bars.
And down into the dust.
She made a mistake on one of the jumps, just nipped past her, and then I just took off, was in front of her, so she couldn't catch me by then.
Straight into the men's quarter-finals, and on the far side of your screen, the infamous Scott Boom Boom Beaumont against Will Longdon.
Yeah, right, the lead from the gun.
Pumping the bike through that rhythm section, the throttle wide open, going for it.
Yeah, Longdon's really stretching away, and Scott Beaumont is struggling at this stage. They set themselves up for the big jump combination.
That's a massive jump there, and look at the speed that Beaumont's out of that set. He's bearing down along in the final bend.
Incredible as he goes around the outside, tries to take the apex. It's just not enough for Scott Beaumont. Will Longdon takes that race
and goes through to the semi-final.
Next up, we have Nigel
Page in the green up against Team Animal, Tim Ponting. Oh, look at that. Page is like a bullet out of the gate.
Yeah, he's riding like a man-possessed. Superb stuff.
Ponting slip. Look at that. Liz is putting it all over. Ponting in the crowd.
In the last quarter-final, Steve Peat is in the blue against Kitchen in the orange.
Oh, both riders
taking massive ahead, but Kitchen almost
losing it on the exit.
Now Steve Peat streaking away to the line, totally under control. Where does he speed from?
Let's check out the semi-finals. Will Longdon's up against Nigel Page, and we're going to see Steve Gill in action.
Yeah, he's refueling, and he's going to need it when he meets Mr. Invincible, Steve Peat.
And we go straight into that action. Geely in the yellow top, Steve Peat getting lead from the gun.
Yeah, Pete leading them through into the rhythm section, extending that lead now, full force.
Oh, wheelies through the bumps. This man is a master. Look at him go.
Yeah, Geely's now trying to close him down as it comes to the combination.
Both riders brilliant through that section. Look at them go, and Steve Gill's on overdrive to catch up.
Yeah, look at his little legs spin like the clappers as he tries to hone in on Steve Peat, but Steve Peat has got it totally under control.
And goes
into the final.
Who's he going to meet? One of these two, Nigel Page or Will Longdon.
Page is off. He knows he's got this one. If he just keeps it together over the jumps, we go.
Will Longdon trailing badly.
Giving it some stick over that massive jump there. The crowd loving it, but Will Longdon sitting up now. It's all over. Nigel Page.
Is came through to the final.
No question about it. Nigel Page can take it easy because he knows he's got his toughest race ahead.
Just thumbs up from Nigel Page because he knows he's through to the final with Steve Peat.
Got Steve now. Quite a fast rider. If he does manage to get for gate, I'll just take him out on one it turns, like somewhere on course. Just try and get a good start and keep going first straight.
Bang goes the gate. Oh, and a terrible start for Steve Peat.
But it's a dream come true for Nigel Page. Look at this. If your eyes in the back of the head, he wouldn't believe the gap he's opened up already.
Steve Peat is all over the place trying to close in on Nigel Page. It's a complete disaster.
The crowd is cheering Steve Peat on, but his confidence has gone now as he hands his next bend. Oh, he's into the tapes.
He's completely lost it. The sheer scale of the task he had in hand to get back in.
Nigel Page saved his victory with ease.
Yeah, he made no mistakes at all on the start. Had a perfect run, and that's exactly what you need in dual racing.
Yeah, it's a rough and tumble sport, but there's plenty of time afterwards to kiss and make up.
A kiss without the whiskers for Steve Peat in second.
But the big win today, a totally hair-raising experience for Nigel Page.
Steve fell off at the start and I won. Slipped the pedal on gate and I'd snapped him. Nearly.
That's it, pedaling.
I think that one on the mantelpiece.
It's a dangerous shot. But someone's got to do it. Don't go away, because after the break we've got the men's downhill competition and an exclusive
interview with Steve Peat.
I was three-time champion in this country.
Yeah. Now 44, that's what I call music.
Crash Bandicoot is back. And it's every maniac for himself!
Welcome to AC's Countdown to the Millennium.
Do something I've...
Returns with a brand collection of rock and roll.
15 classic tracks including No Baby and Brown Eyed Handsome Man. Run Devil Run, the new album from Paul McCartney at the MVC Countdown to the Millennium. Our choice of the best music video at low price.
They all laughed at Christopher when he said the world was round. They all laughed when Edison recorded sound. They all, Wilbur and his brother, they laughed at us and how. But ho, 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 who's got the last laugh? Har, 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 who's got the last laugh?
Welcome back to Mountain Bike Britain for the best event of the season, the National Men's Downhill Champion.
And we're going to meet the master himself, Steve Peat, Britain's very own downhill legend.
93, 94, 96, 97, 98, I was British Series champion. 96, I was national champion in England. My World Cup results, I was 4th. 8th the year before, 6th the year before that, 96. So pretty steadily been getting better. It was a great World Cup goal, and that just gave me a huge boost. When you've won that first World Cup, it just feels so good to see your time at the top of the leaderboard, heard the national anthem, and it choked me up, and it feels so good. It just gives you a good feeling inside. Nothing better than winning. Started mountain biking, I was 18 years old and I was plumbing, and the guy that I was working for while I was plumbing,
Got a mountain bike and he joined the local club, Bats. I went along with him one day to the club, went on a club ride, entered the novice cross country and won my first race. I used to ride with my brothers and they'd always go and like build these crazy jumps made out of wood for the BMXers, and they used to call me the kamikaze pack. They'd make me go test the jumps for them. Favourite sections, mostly a technical, tree routes. Wet sections are pretty good, rocks. I pretty much like it all. I like to go fast and like to be close to trees, scare myself a bit sometimes. It's just cool. Riding trails and jumping is all to do with the adrenaline, and I guess that's what I thrive on. This part of riding is huge for me, just playing on jumps, playing with my friends, just having fun, cruising like with a big group, just play riding. This place is just as good as any. Got some nice red dirt and it looks like California sometimes. That was lucky. It's cool having a girlfriend involved in the sport because I travel so much. You get to travel to a lot of the races, so we see a lot more of each other than if I had a girlfriend that would just got a regular job or something.
He'll like do a run with me, to somewhere where things are.
I can help her out with the racing and she can help me out with things, so everything's good. Fans first.
Day long, flat out.
Super cool. I've got time for all my fans. I love it. All the little kids that come up and want autographs and want something signing. I think it's super cool.
Seeing everybody actually in person and how many people know your name, it's really weird.
I've got my idols and I respect them, and I can see how the little kids respect me because I'm doing so good, so I got time for them all the time.
Steve Peat is top dog. He's currently leading the World Cup Series at the moment. He's back from the States with one thing in mind, to try and wrestle the crown from his arch rival, Rob Warner.
I know that Rob rides good on this course, but I feel good in training and I'm positive. I've been having a good year.
Will it be 3 in a row, Rob? If Rob Warner was to score the national championships again this weekend...
I'll make him one stupid thing of this. This guy loves taking medals, but he only accepts gold.
I think we're having it. I mean, don't really know second place at the Nationals. It's all about being national champion.
Now, while these two Goliaths are busy psyching each other out,
Tarek Anderson is poised straight.
he's been in the series a lot so far, and with the whip off under his belt, he is fired up.
The time will be out and every split second will count. Over the last 2 days, literally hundreds of riders have been getting their
race line diet.
Yeah, there only one chance on race day, and over the short course, one mistake is all it takes to throw you off your bike and out of control.
Nigel Page is not up for any mistake. A winner on the dual podium. Here he is in action.
Yeah, certainly going to add to his confidence levels as he comes the cliff beautifully over that. Look how hilarious he is as he comes through on the final turn.
Now we're riding with Robin Kitchen. If you've been watching our series, you'll remember he had a third place at Hopton Wood in the second round, but now he's in the national championships.
Look at the clock as Robin Kitchen is flying. Oh, look at that close line. He cuts through the apex on the corner, takes it right to the line. We're going to stop at 2:03.56.
Our next contender is Ed Mosley, and we'd be forgiven for normally talking about his sister, who's a chip off the old block, really. Ed the Shreddo's been having a good season with some 20 results internationally.
Yeah, he's been riding like a dream this season through the rock garden, looking like Alan Titchmarsh on a mission.
Yeah, Ed Mosley is no pansy today. He's rock and roll through this section.
This is going to be one of the best rides Ed has put in all season as he breaks out into the arena. Let's watch for the clock.
Oh, there it is. It's amazing.
It's sub 2 minutes and he's got oodles of time. The crowd have been caught unawares. They didn't expect to see him this early. Watch it now, Rogers. We approach.
Eddie coming to the line. He's going to go into 2:01.72. Ed Mosley is pumped.
Crawford Tarek Anderson has gone from dark horse to super this season.
Yeah, this is his first elite championship and he's already one of the favourites. Here he is at the Rock Garden.
Oh, look at the massive speed carrying through there.
Almost off the edge of the track, Roger.
That's right, he is a very technical rider, and some are saying this Course could be a little bit too tight. Danger of hitting the tree somewhere down the line, but so far he's keeping it together.
Breaking out into the arena he is, and the clock's looking fantastic. Ed Mosley, the clock is sub-2.
And that guarantees him a podium plus.
With only Steve Peat and Rob Warner to come, something big is about to happen. The Wild defending national champion is off the block.
Yeah, Rob's managed to come good for the last 2 years in a row, take that national champion's title, and he wants the third badly.
Here he is into the run again, going very high on that line, just like Carrick Anderson did.
Look how tight it is through the trees. It's like a minefield down through there.
Fantastically smooth. Rob Warner looks like he's keeping it under control as he breaks it now. The clock, there it is.
It's going to be such a close one. This is really, really going to right to the line. Rob Warner.
Oh, running wide though, running wide. That's going to lose him a bit of time. Watch. Fast. Oh, 2.95. Good enough for third position, but will he hold it? Because still to Steve Peat.
Yeah, we cannot overstate this man's talent. He is rated by many as the best rider in the world.
And that's why he wears board number 1. And with Rob Warner out the way, he's got every chance of regaining that national title 3 years ago.
The trouble is he doesn't know that Rob's out of the way yet, and he's got to give it all, and he's doing just that through the rock garden, looking absolutely silky smooth.
Pete is totally flat on the track now. Just look at him go, Roger. This is superb. It's poetry in motion.
This is unreal. Has somebody speeded the film up or something? This man is in a rocket.
Clock, look at that. 50 on the clock and 10 seconds to go without any mistakes. Surely he's going to be in with a chance.
He's got the crowd behind the kid and then for support. Can he do it? Pushing all the way to the line. Going to be very close.
Oh, yes, he's got it. 2 zeros.
Steve Peat's become the new national champion.
And that ride was textbook perfect. If you're a young rider out there watching, look and learn.
Well, where does all that speed come from? Well, you can see here that Steve Peat keeps pedaling at every opportunity. There's never a moment lost.
And even when the back end's sliding out, Steve's still got the bike control, getting the power down really early out of the corners.
Let's have a look at the final result board. Big disappointment for Rob Warner today, back in 4th place.
But having the ride of his life into 3rd place was Ed Mo.
It was a pretty good run. I couldn't ask for more, really. I was over the moon.
Rick Anderson so close today, takes the silver.
It's been 2 long years for Steve Peat with no national title, but he's finally got it back from arch rival Rob.
Won it for the last 2 years, fair play to him. It would have been nice for him to pull a hat-trick, but the way the season's been going then, I wanted to win it back and take the title away from him. I've got now, so I'm stoked.
It's an awesome day's racing. 2 brand new national champions.
That's right, the most popular win of the day, Helen Mortimer on local soil, proving he can win a national championship. And Steve Peat, well, he really is the master. Next week, join us in the beautiful town of Ludlow.
The grand final of the RAV4 Mountain Bike Series. Riders will be hanging it out to try and get maximum points in the last round.
And we get ugly with the most devastating duel to the competition of the year. Be there!
Mountain biking.
You're watching Mountain Bike Britain's last event in the downhill series.
We've been treading the circuit for 5 weeks now, with the top UK riders coming from all over the country,
Looking for series points in the downhill competition, and also regional crowns in the dual descender.
Now it's crunch time, with the final placings in the series hinging on big performances.
Whoa! Whoa.
Coming up in Mountain Bike Britain, we go head-to-head with a knockout dual competition.
Reigning National Series champion Tracy Mosley will be looking to retain.
We meet Tim Ponting, who's been leading for the last 3 events and wears the yellow jersey, but needs a big one here today if he's going to put his name on the men's national downhill trophy.
But first, let's go up and ride shotgun with Helmet Cam.
Ludlow is one of the smoothest courses in the National Points Series.
Which means that riders need to give it everything to sketch out a winning time of under 2 minutes.
That's right, out of the gate is headfirst into a plantation, yielding a rolling track that tests their ability to the max.
They need to pit their wing lines through random stumps and worn trails left behind by 2 days of practice.
After the first stage, the riders are faced with Ludlow's major danger section.
Yeah, they have to keep it cool because off-camp it's slippery routes. Hey, this is Sidewinder, the most critical section of the course.
Go the highway or the low way.
Whichever way you look at it, you're facing a barrage of
roots, ruts and stumps.
And if you don't make it, you're going to wind up smacking into the crash pads. Riders are working overtime as they descend further from the top flowing section.
And down towards the tightest corner on the course where earlier races have been.
This is on running every side. It's not. It's no different.
On a down course, you've got a tyre-sucking gully that spits you out into the bushes.
Out of tram lines, and riders have to stomp on the pedals and drive their way through some testing switchbacks.
It's so important to keep up the momentum and stay on course in the slower sections.
Yeah, the race is won and lost here as they lay the foundations for the run home and the most spectacular part of the track.
Pedaling hard out of the woods, they're into top gear as they sniff a winning time.
The rider's set of man-made features. It's so fast, it's like running a bobsleigh run with jumps.
Spat out of the big berm, it's time to stamp on the throttle, everything you've got to the finish line.
The women's competition has been of the highest standard this season, Roger.
And the woman leading the charge is Tracy Mosley, the national champion. She's been up for the first time.
I'm just looking for a consistent good ride just to make sure I get in that top 4 and take the series.
Emma Guy, only rider on points, actually beat Tracy in the series.
That's right, but Tracy would have to have another major stack and Emma would have to be on top of the podium to win the series.
I need a win here, really. There's an outside chance I can still...
For sure, there's only room for one name on the trophy.
But who's it gonna be? Ffion Griffiths is one of Britain's hopefuls in the junior ranks, but she's also had some of the biggest stacks.
Oh, I think the handlebar hedgehog gave her the wrong directions as she came to the finish line. But happy but all.
Helen Gaskell is another young hopeful. She's been knocking on the door of success all season.
That's right, she's one of our brightest prospects and she's really railing this course. She's super fast on the jumps too as she comes into the last berm.
Okay, this is the last combination, Roger. Look.
This could be a good time as Ffion Griffiths get out of the way across the line.
06:30. The time beat.
Karen Van Meerbeek can't challenge Tracy Mosley for the series lead, so this time it's all about pride and defending her third place in the series at the moment.
Quite capable of pulling out a big result here today, and here she is in action as she enters into the tricky off-camber section, going high on that bit, Rod.
That's right, the most critical section of the course out of the way. Now it's the big push down to the line.
Oh,
look at the clock though.
It's slipping away. This is not good news. She's going to be outside Helen Gaskell's time.
Yeah, the time's going to stop at 2:09.06, punished by the youngster.
Helen Mortimer has had her best domestic season ever this year, picking up the national title only last week.
That's right, she's on a real high at the moment, and that makes her a real dangerous rider. She's out of the series, but she will prove she is the best in the country.
We always watch her very closely. It looks to me like, Roger, she's really started aggressively on this course. Right into the section. She's flying.
Yeah, she's really found her confidence after taking that national title. Into tram lines, looking so fast through there.
Excellent. Into the arena is the next section. Oh, she's clipping the line. She's really high, but watch the clock. She's got oodles of time, Rod. 20 seconds to go before she reaches the line. This is looking very promising.
She's got plenty in hand, but there's still a couple of jumps that could catch her out. Remember Ffion Griffiths? But look at Helen Mortimer. She is so fast closing stages.
I think she's had a bit more than just a confident booster today, more of a turbo booster, Roger.
She's easily into the lead with this run today. Superb stuff, just out of the 2-minute barrier.
Emma Guy is the only rider who can
realistically take title away from Tracy Mosley, but she's got to win here today if she's going to do it.
She's getting a good start, flying down through the off-camber section. She really needs to ride aggressively, and she's doing just that.
But remember, she's got added pressure from that excellent time of Helen Mortimer's, which is on the right of your screen.
Yeah, she's really got to push all the way to the line here. There's no margin for her. It's all outside, so her title hopes have gone.
Which meant Tracy Mosley is going to get the series, but she's at the top of the course right now, and she doesn't know the result at the bottom. So let's sit back and enjoy Poetry in Motion.
Yeah, Poetry in Mosley, I think, is more appropriate as she goes down through the off-camber section, now down towards tram lines.
We're taking a new line over the top of that start, Rod.
That's excellent. She's kept the momentum high, and she's away again.
That's right, she's cutting up the lines beautifully all the way down here. Just clipping the tapes there. Now she really...
the clock though, look at this, 1:40. She's going to be in with a chance of beating Helen's time, but it's going to be close.
It's going to be very exciting indeed. It comes down now to the big wide open jump sections. Oh, keeping it low, just kicking the back end a little bit on that one. Into the penultimate berm she goes.
The series leader's got only a few yards to go. She's over the final set doubles. Is she going to beat Helen's time today? It's within split seconds.
Oh, it's going to go right to the limit. She's already outside. 2:02.54.
So Tracy Mosley gets the seat. Helen Mortimer is victorious here today.
Yeah, it's been a day of upsets in the women's competition with Helen Gaskell seeing Karen Van Meerbeek into 5th place.
And Emma Guy and
Tracy Mosley have to take their hats off
to Helen Mortimer for the second week in a row.
This is the first time that I got the whole course smooth, and I think it paid off in the end.
But there's no doubt he's tasted success and been the most consistent winner all season.
I just wanted to get a clean run, no real mistakes, and make sure I finished in that top 4 to retain the series title, though that's did.
The big news today was that Helen Mortimer's win gave her an unexpected 3rd place in the series.
Down
Now riders are reaching speeds of up to 60 miles an hour,
and it's essential you have some proper body armour. Riders have employed motocross technology. That saves any heavy impact on the front of the bicycle, particularly the handlebars and stem. On the back here, the back plate saves any spinal injuries. But you know what? The most common injury on a mountain bike is a broken collarbone.
And these shoulder pads, they really do the business. Once you've got your body covered, you want to protect your good looks and your head. A full face helmet is essential. If you've been watching close, you can see that all the riders are using goggles for eye protection. This keeps the bugs, the dust and the wind out of their eyes, while having a full vision of view. All of this equipment is useless if you can't stay on a bike, and fully padded gloves saves you slipping off the handlebars. On the pedal,
you need flat shoes.
The duel has been a spectator spectacular all season and a source of constant carnage.
Yeah, nobody has won twice, and the podium places have been shuffled around all season.
So when one's up with a chance here at Ludlow.
We're straight into the quarterfinals with Scott Beaumont in blue and Glenn O'Brien in orange.
Yeah, Scott got an awesome game, powering ahead, but now Glenn O'Brien coming back and on the inside.
Oh, Scott just slowed up there and gives O'Brien the advance around that corner, but oh, look at that, Scott Beaumont back in the lead.
Yeah, he's flying like an exocet as he gains ground. Oh, no, it's the full body slam from Glenn O'Brien.
Oh, Beaumont protest, but O'Brien's already crossed the line. Let's watch the replay.
Yeah, perfectly legal stuff from Glenn O'Brien. Runs wide, not got it off the course.
Ram raiding the start gate this time is Will Longdon in red versus Robin Kitchen.
Yeah, Will Longdon going right across to Rob Kitchen's line saying, I'm in charge in this race.
And putting Kitchen off, he slips a bit of a pedal, and now Will Longdon's away.
Yeah, Will Longdon powering away now. Rob Kitchen got it all to do.
Oh, he might be going to the takeout manoeuvre, but I think he's too late and he's down and out.
Will Longdon cruises through to the semis.
Qualifying from earlier races were James Alloway and Nigel Page.
Coming up in our first semi-final, Will Longdon's going to face off the Flying Irishman, Glenn O'Brien.
The second place is in Dumfries, and in Hopton, he's the man to watch today.
Yeah, but he's not getting a good start there because Will Longdon is flying. Oh, but he's down.
Longdon's flying over the handlebars, Roger. This one's going all O'Brien's way. Will Longdon tucked under the front wheel. Let's go to the replay.
There, the front wheel washes out and it's roly-poly all the way down the hill. In the second semi-final, then it's Nigel Kojak Page
versus James Elvis Alloway.
Oh, Nigel Page gets a good gate, but he's on the outside line, which is a little bit slow. But look at him cross right over to the other side of the course.
Crossover time, two riders with totally different lines. This is dueling at its best as they clip berm.
Yeah, this is what we like to see, neck and neck on the doubles. I think Nigel Page possibly just having a bit of a trouble.
Down the final bit. Oh, Page gets tangled in the tapes. I think he's down, and it's Alloway is the line.
Let's have another look at that in the replay. That was excellent stuff. Here you see Nigel Page tries for that little nudge, but he gets his caught in the ropes and he's all over.
Try out the gate in the lead and stay in the lead, basically. If I'm not going to nail him. The best rider in Britain, Scott Beaumont, you know, so pretty good get to the final.
Into the final showdown again. Glenn O'Brien getting a little stuck in the gate as James Alloway rockets ahead.
Alloway really opening the throttle on this one, going for gold. Surely checks over shoulder and keeps the line shut on O'Brien.
Yeah, doesn't even hit the berm as he goes through there. Now he's looking to set himself up to be safe through this one. He's seen Glenn O'Brien in action there before.
Where does he find the speed? Alloway is a clear leader in this one. He's really opened up the gap, and it's going to be impossible. I think he's coming to the line to take victory. Alloway takes it.
Glenn O'Brien very happy to get second place.
Did you win?
Yeah.
No, impaired me.
I had a really good game. I had the feeling like coming up the side and just about to nail the end of the last one, which Pagey tried definitely the run before. Didn't get away with it and got the win.
You have got a couple of minutes to make that coffee, ruffle that beanbag and slouch back down in front.
Yeah, we've got loads more action still to come in the men's elite competition.
And we're going to meet Britain's leading points getter, Tim Ponting.
These are lizards. We could have been huge.
Yeah, whatever.
We know enough technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile.
You stink!
What if your mobile phone prepaid voucher had an expiry date? It could run out before you've used all your talk time. Orange Just Talk vouchers, there's no time limit. Every penny goes on calls. There's no ouch in our voucher. Orange Just Talk. For the Orange Guide to Prepay, call 0800 80 10 80.
Enjoy it while you can, hotshot. Your day is numbered.
Louis.
Ever wondered why cows don't get heartburn? Cows don't skip breakfast. Cows don't race around all day on a jelly baby. Cows don't eat curries. We can't all have a stomach as peaceful as a cow. So, if you do Zantac 75, get relief from heartburn and indigestion for up to 12 hours. Zantac 75. Be human. Have the stomach of a cow.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want for Christmas, Argos has the brightest bargains this
Those frogs saying Budweiser is not enough. This is one of the greatest beers in the world. People want to know more. Take them out, my friend, and you'll be a national hero. They'll name a swamp after you. Now, when I say take, I don't mean take them to the movies. You understand?
White Farms cheese.
We deliver fast, we can ask. We check your heater. For the complete mobile heating service, call Calagas Direct on 0800 662 663.
What the? Whoa, whoa. I'm no electrician, but that has got to be dangerous.
Oh my. Bud?
Whoa. Louis.
Frankie, eventually every frog has to croak.
That's not funny.
I laugh when I'm sad.
Mountain Bike Britain, and we are so close to finding out who's going to
take the National Downhill Series title.
I just can't wait, Rory. But first, let's meet the man who's in the lead going into...
You've got to watch a mountain bike to know that he's got good bike handling skills. He's a cunt.
You either got like smoothest like that, you haven't.
Good jumping. This guy used to turn up at the Malverns and used to win the Malverns and then go home in Sheffield. So the Malverns were going, yeah, and it turned out he was a motocross racer.
Started motocross when I was about 10. Started racing when I was about 15. Get out in motocross bike training on that. Keeps your mind focused and speed. They both cross over really well.
How much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
So nice, ain't been out in it for a while. Don't give me that to him, he's out every day. He's been riding motorbikes all of his life and living on a farm and growing up out in the woods.
Everything I used to do when I was young involved around bikes, you know, everything's just been over racing motocross, out on bikes, and every day is bikes.
The first year he got food poisoning, and I think he had to get a top 10 to win the championship, but food poisoning... 97, he won the championship, got on the podium every single race.
Eventually won it 3 years ago.
And last year, it was all down to the last round.
It should be a walk in the park for Tim Ponting, and he gets a good start.
Same old story, he had to get a result, and he crashed it.
Feel something bad has happened to Tim Ponting.
One of the riders is a champion.
Oh, really?
The guy in the couple kit.
Oh, come on, let's get down for that.
You can't live life being boring, you know, life's too short, you just get on and have a great time. I mean, if you do get hurt, then it's tough luck.
When he said I want to ride over the edge. We were in the way.
If you feel confident, you can do anything, and it's all down. I like the adrenaline side of it, the thrill of racing downhill for 50 minutes flat out.
If someone decided to do downhill mountain biking and take the chains off and roll down the whole thing, world champion. He had to buy a new bottom bracket once, and since then he's never turned his cranks. He's not turning them because it wears the bearings out.
Oh, it's stupid lies. So I watch video.
26, which was in 5 years. I mean, it's really constant championship. I mean,
World Cups. It'd be great to be national champion in Britain.
That's blessed him, he's good. Like his cotton socks. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm explaining it to us because we had no idea. Yes, he's following us around.
The big event here this weekend is in the National Point Series. It is so tight at the top.
That's right, Rory. Tim Ponting's wearing the leader's yellow jersey after 4 events.
One tiny mistake and you could be out of the top, I hope so. Anyone who makes mistakes out there, really.
But the rules of the competition are that the riders can drop their worst performance from the series.
Now, James Alloway has had 3/3 in a DNF this season, so he could drop the DNF from his overall points total.
And that rockets him to the series lead.
Last race, I've got to do good, so I'm going to go as fast as I can.
So, Tim Ponting slips back into second place and finds himself in the company of Crawford Carrick-Anderson, who's been a sensation in '99 and won the Lyle.
That's right, with Tim and Crawford just 4 points behind James Alloway. This race is going to be a beauty.
Riders have got one chance to post winner here at Low, and this man...
As he comes through the front sections, keeps the gas wide open, a little punt,
but he's losing no speed at all, Roger.
I tell you, Rory's putting together a real good ride here at Ludlow. Watch the clock, this is going to be a good one from Edley.
Remember, the winning time in the women's competition was just outside the 2-minute mark, and Ed's close to the line now. 1:30 on the clock.
Yeah, he goes through the penultimate berm, over the step up, now through the final berm, the push to the line. Can Ed the Shred set the time to hit today?
1:40, 5:39. That's a great time from Ed Mosley. He crashes into, and he knows he's done a good one.
It could be a great result. He looks like he's flying to me at the moment.
He comes through the tram safely through, then nicely cuts through the apex. Now we're on to that critical bottom section.
As he breaks into the... Watch the clock on your left. Nigel Page's time is looking okay, but I don't think it's going to get close to Ed Mosley's, Roger.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to make up this lost time in this bottom section of the course. He's got a bit of a pad loose there.
Page is giving it every ounce of speed to the line now, but he's going to be just outside the leader's time. 1:40.28, the finishing time.
Fresh off a big performance in the duel, man is riding the wave. If he wins today, he bags the series title.
That's right, but we've got 2 other riders to come who could do just the same, so it's all eyes on James Alloway as he goes into his victory bid.
Coming down towards the off-camber section, he's really flying. Watch him rocket through there, totally on the limit as he goes through the exit.
That's right, the speed these guys are going in the eye of a needle. It's just so tight between the trees.
Breaking out into the arena, it's wide for James Alloway and a touch of debut as he hits the dual course.
Okay, watch that clock on the left of your screen. The time is ticking away. It's going to be very, very close.
Oh, he's losing a little bit of time here, I think. It's going to be very, very tight for James Alloway. He needs to rocket right to the line, pushing it all the way, but I don't think it's going to be quite good enough.
Names, and that means he's lost the series lead, which will be bitterly disappointed.
Now established as one of the big players on the British downhill circuit, Crawford Carrick-Anderson's going to be chomping in the bit with James off the podium.
The first
and now he's doing it in the dry.
Pushing away from the turn. Oh, no! He's down!
Crawford dust flying. We can't see why he's made a mistake, but he's out of view at the moment.
He's back on the bike, but it's too late. The time's gone. There you see it. Too much speed into that turn. The front end wipes out, and there's nothing he can do about it.
So a bad run today for Crawford Carrick-Anderson. Bye-bye to the series for him as well. Oh, but it's all over. Only one more rider to come, and that is Tim Ponting.
Yeah, all he's got to do is get down the hill inside the top series. Quite incredibly, he's been averaging 4th all season.
It's definitely a case of pedal Ponting at the moment. He's got really, won't know at the moment, the 2 disastrous runs that have been before him, and this could be his big day. Through he goes, and so far so good.
This is where his renowned smoothness and consistency is going to pay dividends. He's tanking through the tram lines.
Yeah, remember in his interview he said he's going to have to pedal to win today. That's exactly what he's going to have to do, but remember it's Mr. Consistent that's going to win the series for him. He's looking good at the moment, 1:35 on the clock, and he's still got a way to go.
Yeah, Tim Ponting looking like he's in with a shout for this series here. All he's got to do is blast one more berm and take one more jump, and he's home and dry.
And the crowd are going absolutely animal for Ponting, who's going to confirm his series win today.
But Ed Mosley takes victory.
So, as we've seen already in the women's competition, it's been a day for upsets, with James Alloway slipping down a 5th spot and Nigel Page stealing his accustomed 3rd place.
Tim Ponting steps up into 2nd,
but a win fully justified today by Ed Mosley.
Poorly, but I've really picked up.
time series podium. To win it, it's really
So consistent paying off for Tim Ponting with a 7-point lead in the series.
Oh, what a series we've had, Roger.
Yeah, Roy, it's been amazing.
With Tim Ponting's Street 5 coming true, taking the men's series.
Tracy Mosley confirming again that she's the fastest woman in Britain.
No, what about the duel? There'll be loads more action in Mountain Bike Britain in 2000.
Be there! Sosa's volley in the 68th minute, and Massimo Margiotta's hit 6 minutes later. Inter grabbed their first away point of the season with a 2-2 draw at Verona. In a game not short of incident, Vincenzo Italia was sent off
for excessive celebration of his 20-yard shot that put Verona 2-1 ahead at half-time. Down to in the second half, the home side held out until the 81st minute, and Sue Kerr scored Inter's equaliser. So after 5 games, Udinese stand proudly atop with 13 points,
1 point ahead of Roma and 2 points clear of Atalanta in third. Juve and Lazio remain outside top 3 for the time being.
Well, that's it then for tonight. Don't forget that we'll be back on Thursday night with the Sunday night clash between Verona and Inter. There'll be all the news and views from the week in Serie A on Saturday morning's Gazzetta, and as usual, Football Italia Sunday afternoon here on 4. Until we next see you though, from all of us here it is 1-0.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment. The Spice Girls are taking over TFI Friday.
We wouldn't have on 2 years ago. We've given them the whole show.
With Chris Evans gone, the show belongs to them.
I'll give you a note. You just
brace yourselves.
Even the desk is nervous.
The Spice Girls present TFI Friday, Friday 6 on 4.
Part 2 of the 6-part National Downhill Mountain Bike Series on 4net.
White Ladder is the phenomenal album from David Gray, featuring the original versions of Babylon and Please Forgive Me.
Please forgive me if I act a little strange.
David Gray, White Ladder, the album out now.
As parents, we can't always be there or challenge.
Breakfast like Cheerios.
Cheerios has 4 healthy whole grains: corn, oats, rice and wheat.
There's a lot of good in those little O's, which they'll need when they're out there on their own. Cheerios.
Only 10p a minute? Call Chatterbox. 09013 30 30 30. You'd better believe it. Only 10p a minute. 09013 30 30 30. Call now.
Men want it for hazardous journey. Small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
Nestling in the Yorkshire Dales are the pretty towns and villages of Potley Bridge and Aldeburgh, steeped in
history, all have their individual charms and attractions.
Just
Justin! Justin!
Yes?
What is that?
The Ripon Hornblower. I'm so very, very scared.
Fiona, please, wait for me.
This week, Justin, myself and the Hornblower are at Pateley Bridge in the Yorkshire Dales on 2 of the RAV4 mountain bike series.
It's an all-new course for both downhill and dual, and the riders are really loving it.
To be honest, it's been a nightmare, having a bit of trouble on this one.
I wish I was riding.
It's got a tough course.
It's flat out lost.
So what is all this fuss about? Let's find out on board with Helen Morton.
Right, this is the start. Pretty flat and pretty pedally. Trying to get enough speed going to this rock section, which is pretty brutal actually. I had a bit of a crash in practice. And then got a second rock section before you go round a big boulder. So you go round past that boulder, big boulder, and then you've got several dips and that in like a modern kind of field thing. There's a few little rocks in between that can catch you off guard if you're not quite on your line. But that's a pretty fast section really. Pretty flat, there's like a straight line through it, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Actually, run there, you can see the guy go around the chicken run, but you can drive like quite a big drop on some routes. Then it's just like a single track bit. And this is really fast. Trying to miss that tree. So you're out into the field now, and this is a really fast bit. You drop down a big bank in here, putting a few pad strokes in, pedal a bit more, trying to keep speed. You're sort of going at 35 mile an hour here, and you hit a big double. And then you go around right hand corner to another step down over a track, and then you pedal into the finish, and that's it. I'd probably give it about a 8 out of 10 technical, and probably 8 to 9 out of 10 for speed. A really, really good course here at Pateley Bridge, and probably one of the best.
First downhill is Fionn Griffiths. She did really well at round 1, coming second in the downhill.
So a bit clunky through the first part of the rock garden, not at all looking graceful.
No, she's definitely having trouble finding her rhythm up there.
She'll really have to motor it through the woods, and she's going to do that, of course, Justin.
Yeah, the designers have laced at this hill by putting in these sweeping turns as they make their way down, and you can see Fionn's tackling those, slowing down too much.
She's definitely picked up the pace through the woods.
Yeah, she's motoring now. She's only got the last drop down through the field and over the 2 jumps to go. How's she going to look at these?
And the thing for Fionn is, since she's the first person down, the first rider, it's really important for her to make a good time.
And she is making a good time. It's 2:18.92.
Bang into the barriers. 2:18.92 is good, but is it good enough?
We're soon going to find out, because this rider down is Tracy Mosley.
This track's not an easy one to get it clean all the way down. There's a lot of technical stuff on it, and one slip and it's all over it.
Tracy's powering through the rock garden. She's hitting it a lot quicker, a lot cleaner.
She's into Fionn, and it's paying off.
And going for it through the woods.
Justin, she doesn't ever seem to pull.
No, Tracy really understands that this game is all about conservation of momentum. Though she doesn't pedal, she also doesn't brake as much.
And here she comes. A good pace so far.
She's taking the high line, just like Fionn did. How's she going to go? I suspect it'll be low and fast. Yes, indeed.
There it is. She's got that great time in her sights.
There's a chance for her to take the podium.
She's going to smash it. 2:15.40. She's wiped seconds off the time, gone straight into the lead. She's tired, though.
So, Helen, guess what you've got? Just pull out something a little different if she's going to
take the lead away, and she has. She's doing a different line down here, Justin.
She's usually good in the wet, but she seems to be enjoying the dry conditions here today.
You're up on Fionn and Tracy. Come on.
She's got lots of support out there, being the local girl.
She's coming into the field off the drop-off now. I think she's going to take the high line. All the girls have so far. Yes, there it is.
Keep an eye on the clock, because she's going for it. Tracy Mosley.
Clear over the jump. She's got one more to go. It's the step down over the road.
So, Helen, if you're going to do it, you do it now. And
no, just a little slow.
So, despite the gutsy effort from Helen Gaskell, Tracy Mosley's scorching run took her to third place.
And you'll notice it's all the same faces that we saw last
weekend.
I run very good, really. It's got into the rocks a bit bit iffy, you know, kept from starting, but once I got past there, I rode away really, kept it clean all the way down.
Today I was really negative about the whole thing, I don't know why. I started off just thinking I don't really want to do this anymore, but the run went really well. Started off, just put all the sections together really nicely. Nothing was fantastic, some of the sections were really hard to do anyway, and just getting a clean run down, it was going to be a good run, so I'm just really chuffed.
And so she's firmly at the top, overall point standings. If there's one section of the course that's really causing riders grief, it's this.
So, to the men's downhill, Ed Mosley is up first, Ed being the older brother of Tracy Mosley. Oh, and it's a blistering pace that he cracks.
Ed's riding for Team Mountain Biking UK, and he's really starting to move into these woods quite quickly. Just like his sister, he knows how.
He likes these kind of courses, he's not scared of going fast, he just loves the technical challenge.
He's power wheeling down. He's going to take a different line to the girls. It's big air for Ed. Oh, you heard the bike bottom out there. This next
jump, it's big again. Ed's not scared of flying.
Nothing but a big pedal to
the British hill blocking their smart time, and that's a smart time, 1:56.92.
So, Dave Waddell, teammate, can you better that?
Dave's on a mission into the rock garden. Whoa!
Oh, crazy!
Nearly lost it over the rocks there.
He has some speed. Yeah, Dave's a really good jumper. He'll be happy to take these at speed.
He's flying. Pedaling hard now for the second one. What's it going to be? Nailed it. Over the road.
Easy. He's got to be inside Ed's time.
What's that time going to be? It's 1:56.2. He's beaten his teammate Ed Mosley by 0.6 of a second.
Meanwhile, off the course.
Just a bit over keen, really. I just hit the jumps flat out and had a big accident, so lost me out to tomorrow.
So, with Rob Warner off the scene, the podium is open to newcomer Greg Minnaar.
Greg's taking this.
Very smoothly, little nooks and stones, not mostly suspension travel.
I'd say coming from South Africa,
Greg enjoys the dry conditions.
Yeah, he's here today, just like going big air again.
A little bit of a show pony as we head over the jumps with Greg.
It. But he does love playing to the crowd, but he can be fast too. As Locke is showing, it's clocked up now, 1:53.54. It's 1:55. That's put him into first place.
Well done, Greg. Well, it all comes down to this guy, Steve Peat. He's off to a rockin' start.
He certainly is, but he's rolling through. Look at that, cleanly over the rock garden, like it's almost paved. He's into the woods. He's clipped in, you'll notice.
From Steve. He's taking his corners so smoothly.
Only now the
one of the course curve.
Slightly different line there.
He's fast though. Look at that. He must have pre-jumped that drop off by a good 3 metres. Up to the last jump. It's low and fast. Taking a nice wide line to get a tight one in across the road.
Of course, this is the final race, so this is it. Do or die, Steve Peat.
He does. 1:55.12. He's rocking straight in there to number one.
So Steve Peat taking top honours with a lead that was just under a second from Greg Minnaar.
I was pretty nervous at the start, so I really went for it at the beginning. Made a couple of mistakes, but they weren't too serious, so had a pretty clean run for that.
It was hard, it wasn't too long, but it was really hard and it kept me thinking all the way. And the last field was just brilliant for all the spectators, lots of big jumps, and you could see all the pit area and everything together. It was just a really good venue.
And the win for Steve, that's maximum points.
He's literally riding away with us.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
Your mailbox is full.
Jane, we met a holiday. We swapped numbers. It's me, Adam. Adam again, here. I forgot the right number. Jane, I just happened to be in your neck of the... I've written a poem. Lovely, you're so... Split with my girlfriend last night, so I got some your phone. It's... Yes.
With free voicemail retrieval, one-to-one vouchers go on and on.
I've been down the gym.
The internet is a new world full of opportunities. But within this world, you could feel out of place. And search from just one personal site. MSN. Make it your home.
Spawn 4 with Stepstone online recruitment.
The great outdoors. Tim's world. Fiona.
The great outdoors? A man's world? I don't think so.
Where's all the men gone?
Once you start, you kind of get bitten by the bug, as everyone says, and you do. Just the people that you meet, it's such a nice group of people. You meet them every weekend.
8 years ago, I was really nervous about racing. I didn't have great skills or anything like that, but I've sort of got the skills now, and now I'm confident with most things that I ride.
It's quite intimidating to start with, but after a few times, it's all right. Well, I did cross country first, and I just developed onto downhilling from cross country. I enjoyed going down the hills much more than going up them.
Notice you're really strong in the duel. Is that becoming a firm favourite?
A favourite. It's good for spectators, and I always like being sort of around crowds and things like that.
I've done dual in the past. The last couple of years, because I've had university, I've just concentrated on downhill because I'm racing both on weekends. And I've also not had time to practice my jumping and practice my dual. It's something that hopefully I'm going for winter, and we'll probably be having a crack at next year to wait and see how things go.
I think maybe take a few more risks than Tracy, sort of try a lot of different things.
I'll think about stuff if I think it's going to pay off, whereas Helen will always take the risky lines, and it's good as a make great really.
Why? Because it's fast, it's dangerous, it's sketchy, you know what's going to happen. It's such friendly people as well.
Am I looking good though?
We ride together and we're both in the top 10 in the world, so it's good to have that sort of support definitely, and it's good for Britain.
Come and give it a go. I know people sit at home and watch it and think, oh, I could do that. Well, come and see if you can.
The key to this Pateley Bridge course, as with any duel, is to get out of the gate first, pick a good line, get to the... Do you think it's called the duel? Because you beat me.
That's a novel concept. Two Justins. Jolie against Fionn. And the first women's duel.
And the first duel for Fionn Griffiths. And she's off to a flying start, Justin.
She has. She drop on Jolie. This is really quite a fast course now. She'll be lucky if Jolie can get back on terms. But there are some chances. Who's one of them? No, Fionn's absolutely flying over that, I don't think.
I think it's going to be a fairly comfortable ride down to the finishing line. And
yeah, there it was. It was always going to be that way from the first turn. Fionn has beaten Jolie.
So, Ultima and Adele Croxon.
Oh, a bit of a fluff out the gate there, Helen. What can she do, though? Hasn't affected the too much. She's still got the...
The thing with Helen is she's not afraid of the big jumps, is she?
No, not. But then there's Adele. Adele comes from a BMX background and is just... Yeah.
But as far as Helen's concerned, it's just a glide to the finish.
The final, well, Adele goes through to the ride-off for third and fourth place against her teammate Jolie. Adele and Joe out of the gate. Looks like Adele slipped a pedal. Joe's taken the faster lane and is making it.
Joe's streaming away at the stage, so Adele's going to have to work quite hard to catch up.
It's a straight line now. They're picking up lots of speed for the jump. Both of them in the air, comfortably through. Who's going to win it though? Looks like Jolie has walked away with this one. Slip pedals really cost Adele. It's third place for Joe, fourth for Adele.
Well done, Animal Orange.
They seem to be with it.
They're still friends, look at it. So to the women's duel. Final Fionn Griffiths against Helen Waterman.
Oh, Helen's out the gate from Fionn. It's looking quite good. No, she's dabbed.
Yeah, I saw the foot down and that would have been Fionn's to get the lead.
Helen's going to dominate this one now. She knows that once she's in front, getting by is what it's all about, and it's hard on this course.
So both riders are lining up the jump, doing it well, and you'll see Helen Mortimer pumping the landing, taking it through to the finish line.
She cruises through for the win. But you've got to hand it to Fionn Griffiths. Not bad. Second in your first duel of the year. Check out this slow-mo. Wow. Theon, totally in control.
So Helen Mortimer taking the yellow jersey, top of the table. It's been a good day for Helen.
Arsenal John's the best gate toss business. Will London goes against Scott Boom Boom.
Scott in the fast lane, the right lane, in the blue.
Will's a really technically gifted rider. He really badly would like to win this one, but it's not going to happen for him right now. He's chasing hard.
Is he going to catch him up over this jump? He's keeping it low.
No chance. Scott's got this wrapped up.
Scotty after a podium place this afternoon.
Will, unfortunately, out of that one. Next up is Mark Davis against Tim Ponting. Out of the gate, pretty close together.
Both these riders from a motocross background. Not afraid of... Oh!
Tim's just caught him with elbow. Perfectly legal move. Wow! Check it out.
Tim Ponting with a big motocross here there and enjoying his run the finish line. Good on you, Tim.
He needed in the bag, so he was showing out for the crowd.
Nigel Page against Scotty Boom Boom Beaumont.
What has Nigel got on his head?
It looks done as riding, is it?
I don't know.
He's not got the... He's dropped it.
Very slippery. So Scotty has hauled himself. Is he going to pull a big one out of the bag? No, he's going to take it fairly safe. A little pleasant ride home.
But he's definitely guaranteed a place in the next round.
Way to go.
Love that one. Because loads of people keep crossing it. Well,
from a perspective, obviously, yeah.
Absolutely marvellous. I thoroughly recommend it all to anybody.
A few bouncing duties about. It's off a little bit when you're trying to do a run, but...
Don't ask me what I think, I don't have a clue about it.
Smashing. Probably for a race, yeah. Nice day, nice weather, nice people, nice riding. Everything's beautiful.
Fair place at the moment. Beautiful it is. And Steve Pete's up in the gates with Tim Ponting. Let's hope they don't get distracted.
There'll be no distractions. He's got the right-hand gate, which is able to choose as the fastest qualifier. It's the fastest line, and he's made pay.
So Steve in the lead, but Tim isn't giving up. He's still...
Ouch.
The back of that bike's landing hard from Tim Ponting. He's making it work hard, but it's no good. You just can't hold a man like Steve Pete when he's in form like this.
It's Tim Ponting against...
Looks like it's Nigel Page at the moment. He's going to start that corner again.
No big mistake wise.
Still
pretty close, go our way, over the jumps.
Big air from Tim trying to straighten out that last turn. Quick look over the shoulder from Nigel as he goes. Oh,
He's on the right lane, the fast lane. He got the choice of that lane
by being a quicker qualifier than Scott Beaumont. He's really making it pay now.
Clearly into the lead in a class of his own.
Scott's working just behind there, leaving to a mistake, but I don't think there's time for that now.
There's only one place Steve Pete likes to be, and that is first.
Here's that winning gate start.
So Steve Pete in a class afternoon, but Boom Boom, Pagey and Ponting have also earned some worthwhile points.
Look, can I read it first before I...
You can.
What a cool look. What was it? So, and looking this way or that way, or turn to camera. Are you ready? And now it's time for this.
2.
And now it's time for this week's competition.
This week's prize is this Kona Scab bicycle.
To win the Kona bike, answer the question on the left.
And remember, if you want to win the series prize, which is a week's mountain bike bang, answer the question on the right.
For more competition details and other mountain bike info,
visit the Channel 4 website.
We're totally off to Wales, actually. We're off to Wales. I can't wait to know.
Does my bum look in this?
No, don't think
really. For Stepstone Online Recruitment.
So there's nice scenery, there's sheep. It's mountain bike Britain.
I know it's Britain, but Britain's quite big, so if you want to give me a clue anytime, that would be very nice.
Hit it, Tom.
No, we is into Wales.
No, you look like I'm the guy from Public... no.
No.
That was the worst Robbie Williams impression I've ever seen.
Actually, that was my best Tom Jones.
Thankfully, this week's show is a bit more true to life, and we're at Builth in Wales for round 3 of the RAV4 Bike Series.
This week, we meet up with the Scots Scottish cross-country racing team, as well as our weekly fix of all and downhill action.
Who won the downhill in round 2?
Steve Pete!
Who won the duel?
Steve Pete!
Well, who's going to win the duel today?
We'll have to wait and see, because it's ladies first and here's Fionn Griffiths and Jo Lee to battle it out on course.
Oh, Fionn got a great start, a big snap out of the gate. Well, she's not hanging around.
No, Jo's chasing her hard. Taking over the little doubles there, jumping them well. Is Jo Lee going to get back?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, no!
Oh, there
No! Straight over Fionn's head. Oh, dear, what a disaster.
But it looks like this is going to give Jo Lee the having trouble. She's not recovering from this one.
Crowd.
Looks like game over for this race. Round of applause from the crowd.
A little shake of the head because she knows it's done and dusted.
Jo Lee through.
Well, could it be filled with Adele Croxon and Kate Bircham?
Again, these two, both hardened competitors out of the gate, riding the first set of doubles. Into the boom, looks like Adele's got a clear lead at the moment.
Yeah, well, Adele's got a BMX background, so she loves the jumps and the fast turns.
She'll certainly take those ones well.
Great one, Beers. Really taking this course, isn't she? Kate Bircham hasn't given up, though.
But a little too late for Kate as Adele crosses the line and takes on.
She certainly has taken the honours, and that's put her
Right to the final, where she'll be facing her own teammate, Jo Lee.
So this is going to get a bit tricky. Jo is on the left. Keep an eye on the little grey bike.
With the first set of doubles, though, and into the first turn, who's it going to be? The most wheel-to-wheel? It looks like Adele Croxon's got the gate.
Adele's really pumped for this race. She really wants to win it. It would be her first dual title, of course.
She's going to... Oh, no.
dear.
Jo slipped out the same corner where Fionn went down a bit earlier on.
She's okay, though. Lucky's got the full face helmet and the body armour. And
yeah, she'll be fine. She won't feel any of that. Just the pride a little bit hurt, I think.
She might have felt a little bit, Justin.
Well, she might have.
So team manager Steve Kitchen will be a happy man today. That's both the animal oranges on the podium.
Let's take another look at this stack then.
face plant.
Scuff in the face. It's not as good as when I ran over Fionn's head.
Pretty happy about it. I'm not
thinking that I would get it because I didn't have rode that well, but it's good to win. It gives you a bit of a rush, so it makes me happy.
So to the men's duel. And Justin, who do you think will win?
Well, I'd play it safe and put my money on last week's winner, Steve Pete.
All right then. Well, I'm going to put a $5 on Greg Minna.
Why is that then? Sort of riding style, form of late?
No, because I want to. So to the men's duel this afternoon. First up, it's the Irishman Glenn O'Brien against the Boom Boom Beaumont. Scotty's got the inside gate closest to us, and it looks quicker from here.
Scott's really getting this together now. He knows how to ride these races really so well. Got plenty of speed, rides that berm, and how smooth.
Yeah, he's making it so easy this afternoon. He's really found some form lately.
Yeah, he's certainly making that leader's jersey his own.
So, Scott, the time has come. You're up against Steve Pete. Let's see how it goes. And I tell you what, you aren't going to see better dual riders than these two. This will be some competition.
Steve Pete's got the lead, though. He's not let Scott have it all his own way this time.
Yeah, Scott's not going to be happy about this.
Over that double. Still super smooth, but there's really no way Scott slipped a pedal that he can get back from there.
Super smooth Steve Pete.
Super smooth indeed. He's number one.
And on to Rob Barman against Greg Minna. Is Greg going to make it the third animal orange rider on the podium today?
He might well do. He is so smooth over these jumps. Straight through that berm, plenty of power and
Yo, Greg will have the jump. Oh, John's down on that accident blacks out of the corner.
Cool, that would have hurt.
That's the third person down on that turn today.
So Greg gets to cruise through. Oh, my 5 is looking good now. Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Go, Greg.
Never mind, Rob, you're through to the 3rd and 4th place runoff, this time against Scott Beaumont.
So Scott's out of the gate first, but really there's not much in it.
No, Rob Jarman's desperate to make up for his accident last round. He's got the power line, but unfortunately this is a fast course, and once you're out in front, that's really all there is to it.
Good to see both riders didn't make that same mistake coming off there in the corner.
Time to put your money where your mouth is, Fiona, because it's the 5er final coming up.
Okay, let's see my boy Greg up against your man Dave.
Yeah, come on, Steve.
Let's go, Greg.
Yeah, Steve's got the
Greg.
gates.
Greg is pedalling hard. He's got to give up, but he's behind. Go, Greg.
Come on, Steve.
Go, Greg.
He's absolutely flying. He's cleanly over the doubles, straight into this long left-hander now.
Yeah, you can't write Greg off. Look at him.
Nah, Steve's got it all the way now. The final, he's going to come up.
Go.
Got it, no sweat.
Close second, though.
No, there was no chance.
Oh, come on, man.
High fives away from these boys,
okay.
but...
Double quits next week?
I think you owe me money.
Maybe. And look at this beautiful ET from Greg Minard. What a star.
Yeah, but... Steve Pete season. Check out the waterworks from the ex-plumber from Sheffield. It's the Steve Pete Show.
You can say you win some, you lose some, but when you race Steve Pete, you lose some. Most of the time.
Yeah, another double, and on my birthday too. I'm pretty happy. I knew Greg had got the better lane in the duel then, so I knew I had to get a good gate. And as it happens, I got a really good gate and managed to get over in front of him. Just got a front wheel in front and held him off.
Last night I didn't really sleep. I didn't think I was going to get through the first round. I would totally love to give a message to Steve Pete. Cheers!
Rankins now riding on Mongoose, so I think
Oh, thanks, honey. Now it's back to the pits to see who's about and what's going down.
We've been about to pull down and get our hubs up to that. Yeah? I'll try and be halfway there.
Is that your goal?
The mood's relaxed. The scenery's stunning. But what's in store for the downhillers today?
So, Kit, you're our action cameraman for the day, for the downhill. So, go on, talk us through it.
The line, there's a few little jumps you can do to try and keep the bike nice and light and smooth. The line.
Awkward, some of them, because they're not even spaced.
You can't just jump on them. It's quite awkward. A couple of big jumps coming into rocks, and I off camber, a bit of a left hand, and it's getting real slippery coming into it, and there's a big drop and down. There's just a big drop off. You know? Basically, you're just trying to ride along there's a hill like that.
You're trying to ride along it, so the whole time the bike's trying. That's difficult. I'm on the rock because you want to slide down. It's not what you want.
And nothing. And then you've got to jump into another left off camber bit. It's quite hard. Corners are really nice, you can hit them real fast. And a little stream jump there, that's quite nice. Nice little catch. Slippery left-hand corner coming out of that, quite hard. And then you've got a long run to the finish, really. You've got the finish jump there. Pedal to the finish line. In for Wilf Wells, the speed, I'd give it 6 out of 10, and technical ability, 7.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone. Recruitment.
Welcome back, and we're tracked up with the riders, checking out the new and smoothest line, and some, well, not so smooth ones as well.
They've opened the track up a lot more, so there's a lot more lines you can take instead of just one line. The problem is we had a lot of heavy rain lately, so the track's a lot more slicker in this place at the moment. This morning there's been a lot of crashes, a lot of hold-ups in practice where people have been sliding off the tracks.
It is wet out there. It's slippery down, a lot of the turns sort of packs. It's such a short track and there's loads of riders on at once. You end up coming down to 25, you know, it's hard to get up the running for us.
So, to the women's downhill, first up, Anya Rees-Jones. She is riding her new Rocky Mountain RM9 bike.
That RM9 bike with 9 inches of travel. It's an unusual choice for a brick course. She's taking it gently through the corner there. It's quite greasy still where the shade is. She's turning around into this drop, and that's steeper than it looks.
Handled it well, though.
She certainly did. With all that travel, she flattened it straight out. Where's she going for the line now? What's the time going to be?
It'll be a good time. 2:41.45.
Well done, Anya.
Good one, she'll be pleased with that.
So the course time has been set, and it's up to Adele Crossan to see if she can meet it or better it.
She had a good start to the weekend in the duel. She's through that nasty slippery corner. What can she do in the downhill?
Off cam, but he's really
Having to use the legs there to keep the bike on track.
Off the drop-off, she's carrying a lot of speed. Coming into the section now, it's all going to be down to whether or not she can sprint for that line. But she's only got that one.
slashing it in his time quite there. Good effort there. She'll be breathing up inside that full face helmet.
So it's Tracy Mosley, the series leader at this stage, and she's off to a cracking start.
She really is moving down this top section over the moors, really flying down, needing all that suspension travel into the...
It's really hard there to see what you're doing when you go from bright to dark.
Making some sweeping moves.
Cross that path. She's into the switchbacks now. Totally in control there. Back to her gliding style. She doesn't really brake too much, doesn't pedal a lot either, but manages to carry a lot of speed. Oh!
Amber just about took her off the bike.
Certainly.
So here she goes, pedaling to the finish, and she's going to need some gas because it's going to be close. And look at that time, 2:34.24. That's 0.6 of a second win over Adele Crossan.
Tracy's our winner then. Do to make the win, took a few chances, they all paid off.
I kind of just went all out for it, really. On the off cam, I was going way faster than what I was in practice. I was just kind of, not staying on my brakes. It all paid off in the end for me.
Had a pretty good race, really. It was always going to be hard. It's dried up nicely today, but it was still a bit hit and miss. Some of the off-camera sections were pretty tough. So I kind of...
now, so I'm really
Some major manufacturers
actively encourage new
their staples.
One of those teams is Scott.
We give Scott tips for downhill and cross country.
So what do you fancy? Bit of downhill or cross country?
Well, I'm a bit of both, actually, Justin.
I'm that kind of a girl.
They gave me a bike, kit for the year, plug entry.
Everything you would need as a racer to race. You would then ride the season. At the same time, we would be giving you advice on how to train, how to look after yourself at the races. So that advice would be invaluable for your future career.
Been riding on the scholarship now for a year. Started at the first round at Thetford. Got second there, a bit disappointed with that. Then I've won every round in the scholarship. It's gone really well. I found out through a magazine called MB UK, Massmount UK. I thought it'd be a really good chance because I was planning to go to Pro Elite next year as well. So I thought it'd be a really good stepping stone. And being on a team as well helps because there's a lot of support from the other riders. And with the big wagon being here as well.
10 cross-country scholarship riders here today, 1 in juniors, 9 in the expert category. We also have here today 2 of our top Pro Elite riders, Sue Thomas, who women cross-country riders in Pro Elite, and Ollie Beckinsale, who has just been selected to ride for Britain at the Olympics. And we took him on when he was a last year junior, first year under 23 rider, and he's stayed with the team ever since. And every year he's built in stature, built in performances. It's the culmination of it, really. You can't ask for much more from a rider.
We say he's going off to the Olympics to compete against the world's best. He won here today. Yeah, it's a real good boost to have him on the team. Bags packed in the back of the van, and I'm getting dropped at Manchester Airport tomorrow night. So yeah, I was kind of looking after myself today. But now, obviously, I've won the scholarship, means I'm going to get the bike and a hell of a lot more support.
Back to the downhill, and what do the men think of the course?
They could be with a chance. You know, obviously there's Steve, who just got silver at the Worlds. There's Crawford as well. You know, he won here last year. Also, we got Rob on bike.
I think I did very well at all. Actually, I've only done about 4 inch practice, but.
Enough said, and Ponting's off first. He's been suffering from a strained ankle for some time now, but he needs to make up for a bad race at Pateley last week.
And can you believe that Tim, injury prone, Tim is not ringing anybody up? What a crazy guy.
Yeah, some riders feel that it kind of slows them down or hinders them or just clouds their kind of mental attitude towards the race. Some don't. Just depends how they take it. It could just be that it's real today. In that drop. A bit quick on the girls there. He's certainly got the bike rolling lovely off that drop. It's very smooth.
Start to show this form that has made him a top rider over the last few years. To the finish, big pedal, I should say. A good time, 2:14 feet. So that takes him into third place.
Certainly does. He's pleased with that.
So, Rob Kitchen, if you'd like to step up, or step on, or power on.
It's Tim's teammate. What can you do? He'll be desperate to beat him. Although he obviously doesn't know at the moment what that time is.
Also, Rob's a bit of a do-or-die rider. No safe runs for Rob.
No, certainly not. His style is to go flat out from the top, and if he gets to the bottom, he'll do a good time. If he gets to the bottom.
The thing with Rob is that he's capable of a really good time, but he does tangled sometimes through the trees.
He's down this drop now. He's going to be trying to power up for the finish. This is where he really needs to build the speed.
So this course is working for Rob Kitchen, and it is a good time. 2:13.32.
That is fantastic with that. But here's the big cheese. It's Steve Pete.